Hello everybody, happy Halloween. I am Mickt Flior, designer and illustrator, and today we're going to work on some really spooky things for you. I am here with Wednesday Adams.
Yes, indeed.
Or should I say Val?
Yes.
What are we going to work on today, Val?
Today we're going to be working on the Monster Mash illustrations. So I have kind of prepped a bunch of different illustrations that are kind of like mix and match. So I'm gonna need help from everybody in the chat you know, kind of let me know how we're going to mash these sort of monster parts together. And I'm really excited. So we've got like 4 different illustrations that we're gonna work on. And then if you tune in later in the day, I'm actually gonna make this file available for you guys throughout the day, because we are doing Graveyard Smash at the end of the day.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be super fun. But I am jazzed to jump into it.
Okay, so let's start.
Yeah, so this is my little file. I have a little pumpkin up for you guys
Beautiful baby
so far.
pumpkin.
I know, he's so sweet.
He's sweet right now, yeah.
I'm really excited to kind of get into more of the like painting stuff today, because a lot of times I'll do like illustration in the studio, but I'm always like sketching and like kind of forming everything. But this time we'll have like a starting place. So we have a pumpkin, we have a ghost, we have a mummy, and we have a kitty cat, of course. And the fun thing about all of these is that they all are in parts. So all of the little interconnecting pieces sort of come away.
What program are we working with?
This is Adobe Fresco, which is one of my favorites, because it's you know, connected into the Creative Cloud. So whenever I illustrate and work on stuff, I can go into Photoshop or any of the other apps and like open the project directly in there. So it's a lot of fun.
I love Fresco, yeah.
It's a good time. I think I use it like for half of my workflow now, honestly. So let me know. I see we have a lot of pumpkins in the chat, and I really love it.
A lot of pumpkins in the chat. That was the first message I saw.
Love it.
It's a pumpkin day.
Do I look like a bishop, Apurva? Is that what I look like? You know what? I see it. You know what? I understand. I am Wednesday Adams today, and I know we don't have a piano in here, but we can still do our snaps. But yeah, so I'm going to kind of go through here, and you guys in chat, if you want, you can totally shout out some changes to make, but I'm going to see what this looks like with maybe our mummy eyes. I'm gonna
start replacing the parts.
Yeah, so I feel like this almost makes it look more like his eyes are glowing a little bit.
It does.
We could also do the ghost eyes, which is a little spooky. Very spooky. But we could also do, instead of ghost eyes, we could do the ghost mouth. And I know that the jack-o'-lantern eyes are the jack-o'-lantern mouth is very iconic, but I also think this is kind of cute because he's like, ooh.
Yeah, it does make me think like he's alive, you know, and he's expressing.
Yeah,
he's scared of something.
He's in awe, you know. Maybe he is looking at something that he likes. We could also do candy. I wonder if we could. Let's come in here and turn the mummy back on. I like his little mouth because he's kind of like, huh? But we can replace.
He's also a little bit scared of something, which is the right vibe for today. It's the right vibe.
Yes, I agree. Let's turn. He can have like more. I guess these are like more startled eyes. We could do.
Yes.
Let's try the ghost eyes. Honestly, we could try ghost eyes. Which is like, honestly, I feel like if I would have to clean it up, because like the ghost eyes have like these longer portions down here. But I feel like even that one could really work, because it gives like kind of like a more frayed vibe.
Yeah, I think it goes well with the mummy.
Yeah,
you know, it's been out for centuries.
Yes.
It's got some, it's old. It's okay. It's okay to have some
Very
wrinkles.
weathered.
Yeah.
I think so far, my personal favorite combo, honestly, though, is like the ghost mouth on the pumpkin. And I think even like kind of as we get into this, we could do more stuff because I feel like I could come in and add like little pumpkin leaves and
Look
like
at that.
maybe
That's
more
beautiful
vines.
already.
You know, like it would be cool to put a little more.
That's a good
there.
way to make like different characters that kind of are coherent. You know?
Yeah, like in the
To
same
make a
set.
little- yeah.
Yeah.
Like a whole team of pumpkins.
You know, that's a really good idea. If we did more, if we could actually do more pumpkins. I'm gonna duplicate
Mixing and
this.
match. That's really cool.
I'm gonna bring this little mouth out
Okay.
here. And I'm actually going to duplicate our pumpkin. So let's duplicate layer group. I'm gonna hide that and hide that. I'm gonna duplicate this again because I wonder if we could get away with something. I'm gonna transform this and I'm gonna move this
Oh,
maybe over here.
I love the effect that
And
creates.
I'm gonna see if we can. Actually, I just want to transform the body, not the whole guy.
I want a whole team of pumpkins, says Wade.
Yeah.
I would love to see that too.
We could do a
They're
whole
all
team.
adorable and frightening at the same time.
I'm gonna see what we can work on. Let me shrink him down just a little bit more. Okay. Let me bump him over. Make him tiny. And then this one I'm gonna try to kind of warp into a tall guy,
Okay.
is what we're gonna do. Oops, I didn't want to crop him though.
Create some variation there.
Yeah. Welcome to watch me transform the same pumpkin 4 times. Okay, let's turn that mouth back on. And then
Okay,
I'm going
that's beautiful.
to select the little curly Q. We're going to make that large. And then we're going to bring these eyes up here and bring the mouth.
That's great. It already looks so different from the other pumpkin that you had.
And I feel like I can kind of do a variation of them. Sometimes I forget this, but technically pumpkins have sort of become a thing culturally that is like very unique and special.
Absolutely.
You know, but they're gourds. You know, they are technically gourds. So I feel like we can get away with some very weird pumpkin shapes.
I think the weirder the better.
Yes.
I love when I see a really oddly shaped pumpkin being used as a decoration for Halloween, you know, in front of a house, for example.
Yeah, like lopsided kind of, you know, maybe a little long and odd. I think that would be cute. We could put these over here, and honestly, I could even come in and kind of sketch that there's like another one
back.
over here. Yeah. This might be it, and we can add some more, you know, because this one is going to need a face as well. So we can kind of take some of the facial expressions from the other ones and add it. I do want to come into the tall boy over here because I love the little top here, but it's identical to our previous one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of draw a new one. So let's go ahead and...
I love the texture that you're using.
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys can see, but it has a little...
Little grit.
Yeah, a little grit, as if it was, you know, actually drawn on paper.
This brush is the sampled brush. I think this might be one of my own brushes. I can't remember. I use it a lot, and I think I use it in Photoshop as well. So,
But I'm pretty sure you can get something similar with the brushes that already come
yeah,
in Fresco. Absolutely, yeah.
I would agree.
I think it's great for sketching when it has some texture. It's not super vector-like. I don't know what it is. It hits differently.
It's like, I always love to have like a brush that has like a little bit of like charcoal sort
Me
of
too.
texture or something. It's like, even though it's gritty, it's almost like extra smooth, if that makes sense. Like it's almost buttery.
I know what you mean.
I love it.
I know what you mean. I would not know how to describe it. I would never describe it that way. But it just feels like your lines flow better. And
Yeah.
I also draw on a iPad, on a tablet, different tablets, and I agree with you 100% about that.
Yeah, I think it kind of reminds me of like if you've ever drawn with pastels, like traditional pastels have
Yes.
like this really, it's like texture, but it's also like a creamy kind of texture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like this looping around. I think what I'm gonna do actually is just make this one short,
Yeah, I think it works.
because I don't think it needs to be brought around. Also, for those of you who are looking to kind of get into working in Fresco, what I've done there is I really want to be able to erase with the same texture that I'm using in my brush.
Yes.
So if you double tap your little touch shortcut here and highlight just the inner ring, it will allow you to subtract with the same brush, and that's how I think. Like, I guess you can choose any eraser that you want, but if you use the brush that you're drawing with to do so, then it just keeps the same textured vibe throughout the piece.
Yeah.
Little cohesion.
It took me so long to discover that's what that white circle was for.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna believe how long it took me to discover that.
You know, it took me a long time to figure out like all of the use cases for it, because I knew that it did certain things, but I never really got into using it when I first started using Fresco, because I was
Yeah.
like, you know, when you're learning a new program, so you're kind of like, you know, immersed in trying to understand what the program can do for you. So it was one of those things, strangely enough, that kind of fell by the wayside a little bit for me until I felt like I was more comfortable with other things. And then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll learn a little bit of like what this shortcut can
Yeah,
do.
and I think that's okay, because this is kind of what these videos are for. You know, you're always learning something new. I've definitely sped up my workflow a lot just by watching other creatives share how they do things. And I just take what works for me, and what doesn't work for me, I don't need to take it. I don't think there's right and wrong way to do it, but there's definitely a faster way. There's always a faster way.
There's always a faster way, but there is also something to be said for the way that brings you the most joy too, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes people are like, don't you know you can use X, Y, and Z tool
To do the same thing.
and I'm like, yeah, but like, does that spark joy for me? No. So, you know, I'll do the fast way if I'm working on client work. If I'm drawing sweet little baby pumpkins for my own happiness.
You enjoy.
Yeah, I'm
you know,
enjoying
you're like,
it.
I'm gonna take my sweet time with it. Yeah.
So I've used the lasso tool just to select on a layer. And what I want to do is make sure I'm on a layer underneath our illustrations here. And what I'm going to do is start blocking in the like forms, because we have two pumpkins that are overlapping and seeing through the line art is a little awkward. So I'm going to come in and grab, we'll do like a deep orange color. So that he's solid, and then when we turn this guy on, we do actually want this up here. Yeah, so now we can start to get that distance between them. And I think I
I love
also
that
want to move
orange.
him up. It's kind of, is this the guy? Yeah, this is, oh, I need to unselect, deselect. There we go. So we'll put him up there. I'm going to kind of put him higher to show that the littler pumpkin is closer to us by being a little bit lower.
Yeah.
So we'll put him up there. And what color should he be, do you think? The big guy.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I've been seeing some kind of greenish pumpkins
Ooh.
out, you know,
Yeah,
in front
yeah.
of the houses in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost like a mint green, if that makes sense, or like, I don't know.
Like a dusty green kind
yeah,
of?
dusty, because
Like
it's,
a
you know,
kinda
nature.
earthy?
Yeah, earthy green. That can definitely be done, yes.
I'm going to select these and group them, and I'm going to hide it for now so that I can select this whole thing. I've even seen the gourds that are white.
White.
You know,
like
white.
Off-white?
Yeah, like an eggshell almost.
Yes. Absolutely. People that have, more clean decor in their house, they might love those pumpkins. I've seen those around as well. Like, you also have very light shade of orange, but it's not an eggshell. It's
like a powdery kind of color.
Yeah.
We are definitely on the same vibe when it comes to pumpkins, I think. I think that we are the same kind of pumpkin gals for sure.
Absolutely. I'm learning about pumpkins a lot.
Okay, that's cute.
Oh, this is cute, yeah.
The back one, we could do the back one like more of a powdery white, but it would also be really cute to do like a really light yellow, because I've seen like more yellow ones as well.
Okay.
And I think what I'm gonna do also is behind here, I'm gonna just
someone mentioned dusty blue.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
That would be a bold choice.
It would be a bold choice. I think we have like a very earthy color palette going so far, which
like
I guess
fall,
blue is
traditional fall colors.
Yeah, and blue is definitely like earthy for sure, or it could be, but I think we might stick to like warm tones for now.
Okay.
For cohesion.
Kiss is asking, so this is a father and son pumpkin duo?
You know what? It could be a pumpkin
Do
family.
they have names?
They don't. Chat, what are their names? I'm definitely going to need names for these guys now.
Based on their look, what would they be called?
Well, all of the names would have to be very, very cute, to be honest.
I think it's a more cute vibe than absolutely scary vibe.
Yeah. Let's group these guys up. I'm going to hide that for a second just so I can select this properly. I feel like queen of the lasso tool today, sort of.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I love how you just trace this so perfectly.
Thank
and
you.
Because your brush has a little bit of a thicker stroke,
yeah,
it might be easier to, always be within the shape that you want to be.
That's kind of what I was trying to do, is like stay at least adhered to that shape.
Yeah.
Wrong one.
Yeah, this is cool.
This. And then I want to subtract from here. Boom. And then we will...
Okay, we have some names for our pumpkins. We have Stormy and Bolt.
Very cute.
Someone said Alessandra and Robert.
Those are like real names.
Yeah, I think that's what I read. I like Stormy.
I like Stormy as well.
It gives me a cloudy fall day vibe. I like Stormy.
Also, I'm adding in a third one real quick. We're gonna do like a third guy here, and this kind of looks like a hairdo. What will eventually be our little vine.
I absolutely love it. Yes.
We're gonna turn that on a lower opacity. Typically, when I'm sketching, is I will do like the basic form of it, and then over top, like I'll come in here now and
add more details to the shapes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have several. I mean, at least I do have several layers of sketch.
100%. Yeah.
Until you get to the shape that you really want.
Yeah. Sometimes I draw something so many times, and people are like, "Are we done with?" And I'm like, "It's not the final Untitled 14 version."
Yeah.
Yet.
Untitled 14 version for real this time.
Yeah. I promise.
I promise. I feel like when I was in college, I used to name things like that. I still name things like that.
sometimes I would just get fed up and I was like, oh, nobody's going to see this but me, until I actually sent a file that said I promise in it to a client, and they were like, what is this? And I was like, oh, my bad.
Oh yeah, no. Always change the names of your files before sending to the client, guys.
Please
Yeah.
do.
We have other names too. We have Pump and Spice,
Pumpkin
Gourdzilla.
Spice is really cute. Gourdzilla.
I had another one, but it kind of disappeared. Yeah, I like the one with Spice. Gorgeous Gorge. Am I saying that right, by the way? I have no idea.
Gorgeous George.
George.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous George. I feel like George is a good name for a pumpkin. If you want a real name.
Yeah. I kind of like this funny little mouth.
It's almost like a ghostly shape. I love it so much.
It kind of. This one is the ghost of a pumpkin.
I feel like it could be levitating.
It could be levitating.
Except pumpkins.
This pumpkin, this is the Dua Lipa pumpkin. Okay, I think that's a good rough sketch of how this will work. I'm gonna give this a little bit more, because like the vine on the top, like when it dries, it's like very brittle, right? So I kind of want it to look a little decrepit and spooky.
So it kind of, it's round, but it's pointy at the same time. The way it moves.
Exactly. I would say that's a great way to describe it. So, okay, there he is. It does look like a little ghost, and I'm not mad about that.
No, I love it.
At all. Okay.
It's different. It's different than the other pumpkins. I think it's perfect.
And we're gonna do a lower opacity just one more time, and this is gonna be like the final version. And we can do my favorite thing, which is hold a shape so that it straightens it out for me.
Oh yeah, that's something I use a lot.
I was just streaming yesterday, and we were talking about how, like, using Fresco a lot, you will kind of forget that certain Fresco things are not available in other apps.
Yes.
And every time I use Photoshop, I will like draw a shape or a curve or something and hold it and like wait, and I'm like, why?
And nothing happens.
Yeah, where's
happens.
my? And it's like I could draw a curve. It's not that I can't draw a curve. It's just that, like, why would I draw the curve when Fresco can help me, and I can spend more time working on his strange little body. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I usually don't want things to be 100%, like perfect. In rare instances, I do. But if I'm drawing with the pen, I like, oh, this circle's not perfect. Great, that's perfect. It adds a little bit of character, a little bit of personality in there. Gordy McSquash.
Gordy McSquash is pretty good.
Adds another name.
Yeah, pretty good, guys.
Seems like a very noble name.
Yes, it's like a title, kind of.
Maybe this could be the name for the older pumpkin. Whoever is the oldest in this family.
I think the big one is the oldest.
The green one.
This is more of like a teenage pumpkin.
So
I'm an expert. I'm the leading expert in the field of aging pumpkins. Okay?
So would you say the orange one is like a child?
Yeah, like a baby
Okay.
pumpkin.
Okay, so what would a baby pumpkin be called?
I certainly hope he's a baby pumpkin, because I've been like speaking to him in a baby voice this whole time.
It's because it's adorable.
Yes.
It's kind of squished.
Just a little more.
It's really cool how specific shapes that you draw already have some personalities attached to it.
Yeah.
Based on everything else that was created before our time. We already associate a certain vibe with certain, shapes. And this is a really cool thing.
I'm glad that you were enjoying it, because I love it. But I have to admit, sometimes, I'd be drawing by myself, and I'm like, are people going to like to watch me draw weird little pumpkins for an hour? Is this going to work out? It turns out people want to see weird little pumpkins. So I'm thrilled. All right, let's let's do a little final on here, and then we're gonna do some painting.
Alright.
Do you remember when at the beginning of this, when I was like, we already have the drawings done, so I'm not gonna do any drawing today?
I was wondering what happened to that.
Yeah. Sometimes I just get excited. We're gonna
Which
remove
is
that.
great.
And I think
it's cool for people to see you, drawing like that.
I have a good time doing it too, and I feel like, one of the things where all of this is concerned is like remembering to have fun with the process, and I don't think it took us too long. We're only halfway through this.
Yeah,
and
we are pretty much halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody can draw, with the world watching.
I think at this point I'm just like used to it. Sometimes I forget how long I've been streaming.
How long?
I've been live streaming for 10 years. I started live streaming in I remember my streamiversary for a long time when I started streaming on Twitch was March 14th, 2014.
Okay, so you're a natural by now.
Yeah, so it's been
So
really
this
what
is
it means is I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself for the public.
This is a skill that we can all learn, with time and practice.
You know what I think the most valuable lesson I've learned from live streaming is how to let go of stuff. You can plan a live stream, and especially here, on Adobe Live, we pride ourselves in like planning the content out and like putting on a good show and stuff like that. But I used to be really, really rigid in like my expectations of myself and what I was going to do, and if it didn't go exactly that way, it felt like a project was a failure or something. And
like you failed.
Yeah, like it wasn't perfect, but I think that live streaming, you kind of realize that you can't always have total control over whatever it is you're working on. It's like you really, really can't. And I think that that's definitely taught me to, I would say, appreciate myself and others more, because you kind of just have to take things as they come. And if you insist on being really aggravated all the time about not getting something absolutely perfect, then you forget how to appreciate, those details, but also just not being so tied to a particular outcome, and allowing yourself a little more grace for mistakes, a little more space for like breathing room.
Yeah, I think this is beautiful. I hope we can all remember that when we're being too hard on ourselves. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. I love it.
They're very cute, if I do say so
I love
myself.
how the colors are very contrasty. They're very different from each other, which makes them pop. This is, kind of my style. Too, I love it.
I'm really pleased with the tall gourd. However, I almost wonder, I'm going to make one more change, and then we're going to leave it alone. I'm going to select his face, and I'm going to cut and paste so it's on another layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to select multiple here, and just transform his body, because I think he needs to be a little longer for it to like all sit like it's all sitting on the same surface.
Okay.
And then
So it looks like he's behind the other two pumpkins.
yeah, and we'll make his face just a little smaller so it fits in right there. They're a family.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Okay, now we can paint them.
Okay.
Now we can paint them.
I'm excited to see that.
And this needs to be, let's do the little thing. Also, I could just make a new layer and turn that into a clipping mask and then just clip over the top of this instead of selecting and making a whole new layer.
Is that your favorite method to do this?
Yeah, you know what? I think it is, and it's the method that we're going to use most often as we get into like painting, because I really like to paint this way. So like if I come over here to our shape of our pumpkin, I will make some clipping masks above, and I will start painting like this. And there's a lot of texture and stuff that we can do. These are like my favorites, like the brushes and stuff that I use a lot. But you guys also have brushes that are included in Fresco. I have brushes that I have added in here, either from other places. Like I got the True Grit Texture Supply brush packs. I've got a lot of the brush packs from Kyle Webster and Adobe. And then I have the Val's pack. These are like my brushes from Photoshop that I've kind of collected over the years that I really like. And you can favorite them, so you have all of the ones that you use most often in your favorites, and you also have, and I love this feature, and it's not like a super big deal, but it saves me so much time. You have your recent folder. So
yes,
from the start of your Fresco project, it records every individual brush you have used for this project. So you can come in here, and I've never reached the end, like where I've used so many brushes in one that it stops recording them. So just whatever brushes you've used, they'll come up here in recent, and all you have to do is select one. So if we select, we can find like this, you know, and we'll grab a red color and we'll just scribble in there for now.
Oh, cool.
In your recent, it'll show up, and this is incredible. If you are somebody who, like, sometimes I'll work on a project and I'll be like, oh, I love this texture, but I can't remember what brush I was using for the texture, and I want to use it in another project.
Every time it happens, every time.
All the time. Now you can just go back to your Fresco project and look at your recent and find it. I was thinking that we could use this brush to kind of start to shade this.
I love the transparency in it.
I'm not sure if it's exactly the texture that I want to go for, because I feel like we could go a lot of ways with this. Like I could go into like full on painting mode, because I do a lot of like hyper real stuff too, and like we could start painting this like a real pumpkin. But another approach that actually might work better considering our time and the style we have is like if I go into the halftone brushes, which you guys have the halftones available to you if you are working in Photoshop or Fresco, and you go to add brushes, it'll bring you to all of the brushes that are available on the Adobe website. And these are halftone brushes made by Kyle Webster. And I honestly think that we could probably find a halftone in here that would work really, really cool to start adding some detail.
That would be interesting seeing that. I don't usually use them, so I want to see what you do with them.
They're cool too because they are like brushes, you know, too.
Wow.
They just have like that little texture.
That's
so I'm gonna
crazy.
try and find like maybe a crosshatch, or I do like the brains one. It's like a pretty cool. In fact, we're gonna try that one. I'm gonna turn the flow up on that, and I'm gonna crank this size down. And we are gonna go ahead and
Someone in the chat, I think it was Jeff, was asking if you knew how many people watched your first live stream.
my mom only.
Only your mom.
Only my mom. Yeah, my mom was in there.
Number one
I think I
supporter.
streamed on Twitch for like 3 years where it was just my mom in there.
Aw,
For
are
like
you
a long,
serious?
yeah, like I
We
was
love
maybe not
that
a whole
mom.
3 years, maybe, but it was like for at least the first year, my mom was in there all the time, and she was like, she would
That's really
pretend that
cool.
she wasn't my mom, and I was like, Mom, you don't have to. You know, you don't have to do that. Like, I don't care if people know that you're my mom. And she's like, well, I'm trying to garner interest in your show.
I do know that strategy. It has something to it. That strategy actually works.
It
Yes.
works.
It worked. Val's mom, it worked.
Yeah. So here's my mom in there, and she's like, somebody, like one person would jump in and be like, hi. And I was like I think I was playing Hearthstone. And my mom is like, so what do you think about the streamer? And I'm like, Mom!
Let's talk about the streamer, not the
Yeah.
game.
And I'm like, come on. But yeah, she's definitely been a big supporter of.
It's so important to have
Okay.
supporters, and I mean all the time, but especially in the beginning when you're
Yeah.
trying something for the first time.
Absolutely.
I love this.
I think that this is gonna do it. I think we need something a little darker and a little more saturated. I'm gonna start another layer, and I'm just gonna like layer this on top of itself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna see.
Is it the same layer?
No, I made a
Different
new layer
Okay.
for it, but the way that the brushes works is it like overlaps directly over the same texture.
Oh.
So it's
I
like
didn't know that.
aligned perfectly. So if I scribble, like if I make a new layer out here, if I scribble out here, and then I make a new layer or stay on the same layer, we can do a new color. It goes in the same spot. It's always
so
aligned.
cool.
And I love that because that means if I wanted to, like I have this dark color and then I could come in with like a saturated bright orange. And if I don't press as hard, it won't be as thick. So I could add a little tiny.
Oh my God, look at that.
So it doesn't go to the full borders, you know? And I can add like a highlight onto the texture, which I think is great. Kyle, I don't know how he did this. I really don't know how
It's
this
such
works.
a unique effect.
But I love it.
I love it too.
And I highly
Thanks,
recommend
Kyle.
experimenting with these.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this can work. What I like to do when I do start to apply texture and stuff with the halftones is like I'll get the halftone in there and I'm like, okay, I definitely really like this. And then I do find like a textury brush to go in over the top and kind of blend. Because right now it kind of looks like I've stamped texture in there. But I definitely want to grab, like maybe we do go back to that Val's brush. And then I can slowly start to like actually paint some stuff just to blend it, because you're not going to get a lot of blend with the halftone brushes. It's like painting with a very, very in-depth stamp. But if I do come in here with an actual brush, then I can start to kind of get that
It's
fade.
very soft.
Yeah. And I think what's really going to make or break this is getting the glow into the eyes. So that's going to be the next step.
Oh yeah, let's see the eyes glow.
Let's go ahead and grab my old sample brush.
These hollow eyes.
And we're going to do like this.
Oh, you picked my favorite color.
Like a almost like a earthy yellow, like a burnt orange kind of.
I would call it like an egg
Yeah,
yellow.
like a yolk.
Yolk.
Yeah, yeah.
That's usually what my yolks look like.
I would agree. Okay, and then in this, I'm actually going to lock transparency because you can't clip to a clipping mask, you know? Because if there's clipping masks in a row, you're clipping to whatever all of them are pointing to. But if you make a clipping mask, like if you lock the transparency, then I can still paint directly into that. So I'm gonna grab the brains again, and we're gonna grab like a really light color. And we're gonna start to do a little of this, and then I'm gonna come in with my other brush.
So are you really trying to make it so it's kind of hollow inside?
Yeah, like so we can do like a.
Oh, I see it now. Like it's lit inside.
Yeah, I guess it might have looked like it was eyes looking to one side with the
I
the
feel
way.
like it's lit from the inside, you know, like a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah,
Is
like
that what
now,
it's
but
called?
now like you add color. Sometimes color can change totally, you know. And then if we add like a lighter, like a color between these two, for like the inner, you know, so it's like this is the jack-o'-lantern for sure.
Yeah, and this area is not so bright because it's kind of farther from
Yeah,
the
And
light
it
source,
has,
the
like,
source of
the-
light.
the rim of the gourd itself, sorta.
I love when you say gourd.
Gourd. Do I say it weird or?
I have no idea.
Okay, I think
English is my second language. I would not know that.
I think it's gourd, isn't it, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
I just like it.
I found out.
I just like it.
That's another thing that streaming has taught me. I have found out over the years, I've been saying some stuff wrong.
Really? Like what?
Yeah, like I didn't know what certain things were.
That makes sense.
You know, and it's just like, because sometimes when you're a kid, if you think you figure something out and nobody corrects you, sometimes you make it to your 30s thinking you've been right all along.
That's me learning English from, TV shows.
Yeah.
And then you discover, that character is saying it wrong for the comedy. Why are you talking like that?
Why are you saying it that way? I understand, but why? Yeah, that happens. I think that does look like he's glowing.
Which is beautiful.
I also feel like, sometimes you say things wrong and people don't realize that you're saying it wrong. They think that you're saying a joke. And then you're kind of
like, someone mentioned, I think some words can be pronounced differently in different locations, and that's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I hear a lot that I pronounce some words as if I live in the UK, and I'm like, maybe because when I was studying English, I was studying British English.
That
and now
makes
I've
sense.
Mixed everything together. So yeah, it's just different.
I feel like you can like different dialects and stuff. I feel like as long as people, at least with, I think that I can only offer advice as far as English goes. As long as people understand what you're saying, then it's not like you're saying it wrong, because like at least here in the US, there are so many different dialects from coast to coast that you just meet people that say words completely weird and wrong. Wrong by opinion. So I think as long as people understand what you're saying, it doesn't matter if you say it weird. But I have
the bigger the country, the more variation you're gonna have in the way things are said. It's the same for my country. I'm from Brazil, by the way. If you don't know me, which is very likely, it's for my first time here doing the live in studio. And Brazil is just almost as big as the U.S., so we have a lot of variation in the way people talk.
Yeah. I'm almost wondering if I should not have made this red.
Why?
But I kind of like it, so I think only because I lose some of the detail down here. But I think if I make it darker,
yes,
and then we'll fade it,
so it's not black.
Yeah, and we can kind of fade.
Yeah.
So then it's like lighter where it's darker, or where the gourd itself is darker. And then we can kind of fade that in there.
This makes the strokes very much soft. Like, they're softer even though they're still pretty thick.
Yeah, not like so invasive.
Yes.
Really.
Yes, that's a good way to describe it.
Okay, I like that. I think he's very cute, very handsome, very distinguished gentleman. Let's see. I would like to alter the colors in some way, and I think that we can do that easy because we do have adjustment layers. I kind of want to mess with the color balance because I'm not 100% sold on the colors. And I think that just means...
Do you like to play with these sliders?
I do.
Just to experiment for no reason at all?
For no reason whatsoever, yes.
I do the same.
I'm going to delete that, though, and I'm going to make sure that all of this is, if I select multiple, because I wasn't clipped into everything there. I want to make sure that this is all, oh, you know what? It's all grouped, so actually we could just do an adjustment here. Let's do color balance, clipping mask. That's more earthy to with everything.
It is.
That might be better.
Yellowish.
And we can kind of go into the shadows and see if we can even add more red, because that's like more saturated.
That would be my personal favorite.
Yeah, I think that one is good, because before it was like a little too orange and a little too desaturated, but now he's looking very,
if offered
very cute.
An option, I'm always going to choose more contrast.
Oh yeah, you know what?
I think
Maybe
this
we
adds
could
more
even
contrast.
we could even play with the contrast too, because we do have brightness and contrast. I don't know about you, but I've found that I don't always feel like I have enough control over contrast in Fresco. Sometimes I'll export to at the end of a project into Lightroom, and I'll just mess with my illustrations in Lightroom.
Yeah,
and
I
kinda,
used to do that in Photoshop in the beginning when I didn't know how to use Lightroom. I think I still might do it in Photoshop just because I'm so comfortable with that specific and I don't mess with it too much. Yeah, so you just got to save a different version
yeah.
with a different color group.
I
It's
like
gorgeous.
this.
It's beautiful.
And then what I would do, honestly, is like I'm still clipped to it, but I'm not underneath anything. So I would come in with a brush over, like I'm on top of everything, and kind of add those little, like, moments where I want a little more contrast or a little more like separation between things, just to kind of bring certain stuff back. And I could even come in with my brush over top, because before we're like painting into the lines, of the illustration that I had laid out. But if I wanted to, I could also kind of paint over top of it. So we still have like that same.
So this is on top of the stroke and the fill?
Yeah, so I have like in here, oops, I don't want to turn it off. In here I have like the line art and like all the colors and stuff underneath it. And then I have like the different, the hue and saturation, or the brightness and contrast and color balance. And then over top, I could come in and do a little more painting, just because up until now we've been illustrating within the confines of the boundaries that I set out. And if I wanted to, I could add a tiny bit more, I would say, and it really depends on the piece, add a little more depth and stuff
I really
to
like it, yes.
just to kind of break the borders a little bit, because then I can, like, if this is slightly smoothed, right, like we have like this brightness definitely that's coming in here, but the more we add, the less it starts to look like it's like a how do I say it?
Yes, it looks more like a painting to me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That's kind of what I'm trying to go for.
More of a traditional painting.
Like giving it just a tiny bit more of that traditional painting vibe versus the I colored this line art.
Yes, absolutely. It's looking very three-dimensional right now.
Thanks.
Right. And I can still see the, the strokes and everything. But they kind of disappear where it would be darker.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to add in like that little thing there, and we'll do it here too. And we will slowly start to kind of bring it in. We can even bring some of this here.
Well, now you're adding some highlights.
Yeah, because if I can put that highlight there, then it'll start to make that ridge of the pumpkin kind of come to the forefront. And we have all that texture with the halftone brushes in there still, which I think looks cool underneath all of it. But we can start to slowly, I wouldn't say paint it out, but start to meld things together, if that makes sense. We can even grab some of this orange and start to add a little bit of orange to here, because technically, like, there would be a little bit of like inner glow to some of it. And I think that the icing on the cake sometimes, doing like a style like this, is like as soon as I start adding like the bright highlights, like adding where the light is truly hitting it, then it starts to like kind of pop. So for example,
it is popping.
Thank you. I was hoping that it would eventually start to pop.
It's being lit by a warm lamp or a candle from the outside as well, so maybe they're close to a fireplace.
And if we can do, like, if I can start to honestly, sometimes what I do is I will like scribble, right? And if I want like a highlight right here, I will like scribble, and then I will make my brush large and turn it into an eraser, and I will come in and like
That's so
remove
interesting.
it a little bit, and then turn it on a, I think color dodge might be too much.
So you changed the blending mode.
Yeah, we could also try overlay. Overlay might do it.
That gives it an appearance of it being shiny.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Trying to make, because like, especially if it's like a new pumpkin, sometimes pumpkins have like that, like the texture, because it's like, it's smooth, but it's not perfectly smooth, right? It has like a little, so if we can kind of get a little bit of that kind of going, then I think it will look even more like a pumpkin.
It's imperfect, and that is perfection.
Yes.
That's so interesting. I love
like
it.
a pumpkin.
Yeah.
He's starting to get there.
Oh, it's been looking like a pumpkin for a while. It always looked like a pumpkin. It's
Thank
great. Don't you worry about that. It looks crazy. I love it.
I'm glad we think so. Okay. Sometimes, and I've talked about this before, and maybe this one was like a much more literal project than some of the other ones that I've done. But when I'm sketching and stuff, do you ever wonder, like, you as the artist, you know what it is, what you're going for.
Yes.
But like I'm always wondering to myself, when does the audience see what I see? You know what I mean? Because I
think they might not
for a while.
ever, yeah.
Yeah. You know, because I'm like sketching something and I'm like, okay, I know I got to put this here. But I always wonder to myself, like, if somebody comes into the stream and they don't have any context and I'm like sketching around, when does my plan start to visually appear for them? Like, do they start to be like, oh, okay, I see what she's doing? Or do they, like, I feel like sometimes I'll be drawing and I didn't really consider that until I realized, oh, I've been here for like 2 hours and my sketch looks like garbage to somebody that's,
it looks beautiful when we have just a few minutes, maybe 4
yeah.
minutes till we're done. But it looks pretty realistic, and at the same time, it has a lot of personality.
Thank you. I think we're gonna do, in the last few minutes, I'm gonna do a little shine. And I'm wondering,
And make it shine even more.
yeah, we could use the halftone for it, but I don't know. I'm just trying to see like what would happen if I put like, you know, like little bits of it, but I don't know if this is the right brush. I think what I need is like an actual particle brush, which I have. So I'm gonna go into favorites. I think gritty shader. Is that? Yeah. I just want, I like to do a little bit of,
I think this is great.
thank you.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I
pleased
love
with it.
I think this is an excellent example of how you can add more textures and make your illustrations come to life really easily just using Fresco. Yeah, we're nearing the end here. And I'm so happy that we're able to do so many things. You said you're not gonna, do a lot of drawing, but that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I'm really happy you did so.
Thank you. I had a really fun time hanging out with you. This has been a blast.
Thank you.
We get to hang out more.
Yeah, we're gonna be back for the following hours of this live. I forgot which ones, but you can see there on the screen.
Yeah, I'll be back with Ted right after this too, which should be fun. And I can't wait for you guys to see Ted. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
I'd say he is magical today.
Yeah, I would say he's quite magical, indeed. I think that's very accurate. But yeah, I think that it's pretty much done, at least our one little pumpkin. So I'm going to be back later at the end of the day, and I'm going to be animating some of these funny little guys for this was Monster Mash, so please stay tuned for Graveyard Smash at the end of the day.
That's great. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna be here today to kind of brainstorm some ideas and concept with like fireflies and like bring that concept into Photoshop. Let's jump into fireflies. Click on this, you see like this is like a very complex like prompt. You know, I always use like portrait mode because that fits social media a lot. Content type, I personally prefer photo. On the popular, hyper realistic, that's something I always use. So let's see if we can turn the same prompt into a photorealistic photo. So I actually really like the example here. I'm just gonna download this real quick and then pop into my Photoshop. This is like the fun part where like you can literally just draw very simple shape. I'm just using this as like a reference. So we'll just lower the opacity. So just like, hey, I want more tree here. And then maybe I want a house here. This is the thing we created. By dropping into a composition reference, and I'm gonna generate it to see if Firefly will generate something similar to that based on the prompt we just type in. Oh yeah, look. So it kind of like read like what I just draw like very basically.
Mind blown.
Okay, so a cool concept is like, let's say like if there's like a tree house, let's just do like that. Don't judge my drawing, please. Let's just like put some like fake legs there, right? Because it's like the tree house is walking away, and then we're gonna have like some dark forest and stuff, right? So we gotta name this as reference. And so we're gonna start building the scene. So let's start with foggy forest. Actually, I like this one.
I was thinking that one too.
I'll just pull that into here. And so in my head, the house we drew earlier would be like right here floating. But you see like when you type the prompt floating, Cabin actually give you like a better reference and with the bottom part that's also built. And download it, jump back into Photoshop. So what I did here, basically I press W as a selection tool and press select subject, Command T or Control T, and then right click perspective, and then kind of just like fix that right about there. So we gotta jump back into Firefly. Now we need to figure out how to build the leg of the house, right? I personally thought it would be interesting to use walking sticks box leg. So I'm just gonna do that. I don't know what is it gonna select. Oh, perfect. Okay, select a mask. Refine edge tool. Basically, it's just like gonna refine the edge, so make the fuzzy selection part even better. Make sure you're selecting the mask. Press B, brush, and then working on removing this part. So now we have a leg. So basically what I did is just Control T, Command T, and then transfer, flip it. I'm gonna do that, flip it, horizon, rotate it, do that, and then select both, doing this. Now it's like a little mouth, you know. So what we need to do now next is like a bunch of like editing to make sure like this thing does match like the color corrections and everything. So some of my favorite tool is right here, adjustment layers. So I'm clipping mask to the whole group of the lake. Reduce it, kind of like, because it was like the wrong color, it was like very yellow saturated, but the background is like more like green and dark. The highlight of this, you kind of want to match like the highlight here. It's like at least putting the same color group of like the darkest part, and then like, you know, it should be like very similar color scheme. That's how you make everything like kind of blending automatically. Create a new layer, sample somewhere around here, reduce the opacity, and then kind of like pan it around, get it like a glowing area feeling, right? And then we can do screen onto top of that, reduce the opacity, go on filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then probably put like match the background, I'll say 1.3, and then go back on here, add noise, you know, like putting them on there because it has to match the background noise and everything. So you gotta do the same thing to the house too. And maybe even add a little bit like yellow, like that.
I love that. Like
okay, and then we're gonna create this other layer here. That just put all this, group it together. This is the glowing light, right? And then we create another adjustment layer for the brightness, and then you can press B brush, going back in like that, you know. The other thing is that we need a reflection of this. I am gonna see if I can copy this whole thing. You can do something like that. And we just do motion blur to like 180. You can also use the smudge tool. It's just dragging left and right to like kind of like giving like a more like water.
To distort it a little bit.
Distort it a little bit. Changing the blending layer mask to like darker, multiply or something, and then reduce the opacity, right? This like look more like swampy and horror movie kind of vibe. And actually that looks pretty cool, right?
That does look amazing.
So then like we have like, you know, the scary buggy monster.
That's great. It was so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah. Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is VooDoo Val, aka Wednesday Adams.
Wednesday.
And I am joined here by my good friend Ted.
Hello.
Aka, who are you today? I don't know.
No, I don't know. There might be a scar on my you know, right?
Maybe you're looking very magical.
Oh, thank you,
We
thank
did
you.
promise them magic when
Yeah,
we came back.
I haven't got my little wand for like Photoshop time, you know?
But we're going to be working on some creepy, surreal compositing today.
Yes.
Ted, why don't you intro yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, if there's anybody in the chat who is unfamiliar with you and your work, and then let us know what we're going to be diving into.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Ted, aka Ted's Little Dream. I'm a surreal artist based in San Francisco. What was I supposed to say? Oh yeah. So my work focuses on like fantasy art, like dream and animal. Like you probably see like the Photoshop cover of the flamingo, and then some other like cool like animals that interacted with the human. So like today, like they asked me, it's like, oh, do you want to come on the Halloween stream? I was like, I've been wanting to do it, so like we have a chance to dress up, and then we know each other for so long. We want to do like Star Wars and all the cool things, but we'll just keep it down for today. We're gonna be focusing on creating like super like scary horror theme like art for Halloween, which is kind of funny because usually we do like Ted's Little Dream is like happy fantasy, you know. But
this, you know, like
yeah.
these beautiful clouds, very surreal. But I'm excited to get into this.
Yeah, I'll
Welcome
show you
to
guys.
my world,
I
Ted.
know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm a huge horror art fan.
You
I
are.
love horror movies.
You definitely
so
are.
I'm gonna teach you guys how to make this like super eerie, like scary thing. So don't want to give it too much away. So we're starting like jumping right now with like Firefly. There's like so many new release on since Adobe Max. You know?
Yeah.
So I might be coughing a little bit here and there because I lost my voice twice after Max and like speaking and all the fun events. But yeah, so we're gonna go over real quick on some new updates. But not that. That's the what was that link? Oh, that was the Amazon link. Sorry. We're gonna type in Halloween. How do you spell Halloween?
H-A-L-L.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry, I always forgot. Okay.
No, we do this every time though.
I know,
where
we do
double
it every
check
time.
because I can't spell when I live stream, and so me and Ted help each other.
Haunted house. Oh, I can't even spell haunted.
There's
I think I'm just gonna do it. I think Firefly.
I think Firefly would be like, I got you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Thank you,
perfect.
Firefly.
Thanks.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. I know we go over like Firefly a lot of time on the previous stream, but for those of you who are like new to Fireflies, this is like a cool setting. You jump into like firefly.adobe.com. You can type in like your prompt. Usually I change like some settings to fit my need for like social media. So I do like 3x4 like portrait mode. And change the content type to photo. So now we're kind of in like the art mode. So does it look a little bit like, how do you call it, illustration-ish? Yeah. Switch that to that photo, and we'll skip the style reference and the composition reference. Basically, this is what it does is like it tell the Fireflies to kind of generate an image on the structure that you paint or draw like reference to.
Yeah.
So we're gonna skip those two. Keep on the effect. I always use hyper realistic because like my work is like super hyper realistic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see. Oh yeah. So this is like a kind of like a cool way to change that into like super
photos
realistic.
of creepy houses. Yeah.
And I love like super realistic, like creepy thing. I used to do like photography. I always wanted to go like explore like the abandoned houses and stuff. I probably wouldn't really do it in real life, but this is a like cool thing I saw this morning that there's little upskills button you can click. So if we do click upskills, I think it's gonna like 2 times the risk. Oh, it's like really cool, like slowly generating everything in detail.
Yeah.
So you can tell like everything's like more sharp and stuff. So I just want to show you guys that real quick. It's like something new that I saw this last night when I practiced. But there's like also a lot of like really cool features, so make sure you check it out. And that's for Firefly. Pop into Adobe Stock because we're gonna do a lot of like fun compositing today.
Yes.
But before that, let's jump back into Photoshop Beta. So there's also some really cool new feature I saw on here. Just want to show you guys that. It's kind of like remove the distractions in your photos. So for those of you who didn't see that, just like you can, I think it's on the regular Photoshop too.
Yeah.
But I'm using Photoshop Beta because it has like something other new tool that I want to show you guys really quick. But before that, let's jump into here. And then I usually remember all like the quick shortcut for the tool. But basically I click J, or you can right click on it and you see like the remove tool.
Yes.
So you can select that. Also other shortkeys, also you can hold Shift and J. So you got to pay attention to this icon right here. It's always like changing to different thing. So it's kind of like cycle around the tool on that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Click
You
on
know
remove
what?
tool.
I did not know that. Is that new or has that always been?
It's always been there, yeah.
I've never used that.
No, it's
That's
okay. Every
really-
time I stream with Jesus, like he always come with like this, like, oh, do you know you can do this and that? I was like, I didn't know you can do that.
Just tell me, Jesus. 'Cause
Yeah,
Jesus
he knows.
everything.
He's a real wizard, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and then on top right here, so you want to make sure you're on the remove tool. And when you click that on the top, you see this new place called Find Distractions, right? So basically, it automatically remove wires and cables or people. So in this photo, I downloaded this from Adobe Stock. Oh yeah, I always forgot about that. It's like you need a new MacBook system to run faster. Okay, so it's gonna run removing area. It should be fast.
We can dance until it's done. 'cause we've got-
Maybe if I wave my
Yeah.
major one. Oh, it does happen faster. That's funny. Yeah, it was like let me cast some spells.
You know what?
You know?
That's pretty good. I feel like there's something about you magically that you
That
haven't
was
been
funny.
telling us until
it's
today.
I'm a wizard.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
You're a wizard.
I'm a wizard. Yeah. So you see like all this like one click. Now you can remove all the wire in picture. So it's really cool.
Oh, that's like
Yeah.
clean too.
It's fun, but personally for me, I always kind of like those wire power
Those
lines
little-
in the
the
sky.
little details.
Especially living in San Francisco, there's like power lines everywhere, so like I really enjoy it. But I just want to show you
Sometimes
that.
you can like because I've removed stuff not this easily because it was before the find distractions, but
Yeah.
I've removed them and then added in more aesthetically pleasing wires before because sometimes the
that's smart,
wires are
yeah.
not as like I don't like all the loops and stuff sometimes.
So
but
you're
I
like
want-
reconstruction and design with your intention. That's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool because if I can do that, and if I have like a power wire like line brush, I can just do like some
boom,
pretty
boom,
cool
yeah.
like maybe to that or something like, and then I can put like characters on there, right?
Yeah.
That's my figure drawing. Don't worry about the
Honestly,
drawing
I
skill
loved
set.
it. Teach me.
Yeah.
Teach
I was
me,
like,
Jen.
I should probably ask you to teach me how to draw.
I would teach you how to draw.
Yeah.
If you asked me to
So we
teach
gotta
you
close
how to draw.
this. We don't need to save that. And then the same thing with this. Also find on Adobe Stock. I just want to show you the same way with the remove tool. Find distractions. So this one is find people. So imagine you're like going on travel. You need to remove all the people. So this one's way faster. You one click, select all the humans, and I'm just gonna click that. And then it should take a little bit faster.
Become
with the
Thanos.
one again, boom. Oh yeah, it's working. This is great. I'm just gonna be a wizard every time. But you see like how fast like everyone was removed from there?
You know what I find wildly interesting is that it removed all of those people in the background and it left all of the birds.
I know, right? And then also
That's
the main character
really-
that
yeah, that's
didn't
really
get removed.
cool.
So this is like something really cool. Obviously you can use the same remove tool or other like patching tool to like click it one or generate fill and everything. But I think this is like pretty cool. Like if I'm like on the fast like pace going, want to post on stories, and like want things to move fast. So I was like, okay, I need this to be done in like less than like 30 seconds. So like boom, one click. This is like really cool way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we have a lot of magic puns in the chat.
Wait, read some. I want to hear it.
Ray says, "What do you call a dog that can do magic? A labracadabrador."
That's funny.
I'm
love
equal
it.
parts in pain and enjoying the humor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got to jump back onto Adobe Stock, right? And then I purposely select most of the assets from Adobe Stock with the free section. So for those of you who are watching, want to practice, you can also download the same Adobe Stock and play with it. So when you jump on here, if you click, you'll find like there's a free sections. It's probably my favorite sections. I like free stuff. It's very free stock. So like usually this is where I type stuff. So you see that I type like forest, dark, like a vibe, and trying to click and see what
there
we
it
can
is.
use.
Yeah.
So like the first one I saw like when I was like practice, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna use this. I'm just gonna click it so you can kind of see this is like a stock number right there. It used to be right here, but I guess it's like there. But if you type the same thing, you should be able to pop up. So you're gonna download that and then you're gonna drag that into Photoshop. And let me know if I'm going super fast, but I'm just like
I
so
think
used
that
to
you
it.
are so excited sometimes, especially when you're like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, it's like we're on the go. So
Yeah.
this is like all the other digital assets like download and have. So with this, when I first saw this, so I usually work in vertical format. Like if I do like file, new, you see like this is like the template I usually use. So I usually build this for like Instagram.
Yeah.
So if it be like forest and happening, this is like usually where my monster is, then like my human and like interacting with the space and line. But for some reason, I decided, hey, maybe I should try to push to the
widescreen
different
kinda.
aspect ratio, right? Because I always do vertical, and then I remember when I first tried like the horizon, I was like, oh, this is like very different design. Like everything like worked differently. So, sorry. In a way, this is how I see it. I was going to put like a monster here, and then with like arm or something like interacting, and then this is like where my little main character is, right? So if I press C as a crop and then clear this. Hit enter. This is like the rule of third grid I have on top of it. So it's like kind of close to like a basic established shot of like a human or hero encounter with like a secret monster. But also, the dark, was it the dark forest in Harry Potter? Where like the forest area where like there's like spiders and monsters. Yeah. So when I was working on it, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like I would just dress up with like Harry Potter and then do like a Harry Potter inspired horror thing, but make it really scary. Okay, so that's like kind of like what I have in mind when I come to like composite and things and thoughts, and this kind of helps like with like the eye line movement directions, right? Is that how you say it?
I would say, yeah. I'm getting everything that you're saying. These are a lot of these. You were talking about drawing and stuff. A lot of the things that you're talking about are used very, very often in illustration as well.
Yeah.
So definitely ringing a lot of bells.
Yeah, I'm always like learning from Illustrator because like they have like designed so many like cool elements. I was like, oh, I'm not learning.
There's a lot of overlap, right? Because I feel like between illustration and compositing, especially, like we focus a whole heck of a lot on like light source. And stuff, right? Like
it's very similar.
Watching you do a lot of your compositing stuff has helped me with lighting my illustrated subjects.
I always watch yours. I'm just like, oh, textures and stuff is so cool. I was happy. Yeah, friends help friends out. Power of friendship. Yeah. So I learned this like from like my friends. He's like design, and then like when your eyes first look at it, you'll notice like the big monsters, and because like the high dynamic and difference, so your eyes will kind of like float around to like the main character, and it's also because it's like rule third, so like it helps like focus on like those area like really fast. Yeah. So this is like how kind of break it down. So with that being said, this is where we're gonna pour into our little main character right here. So this is also from Adobe Stock. Everything's from Adobe Stock. I love Adobe Stock.
And you know what? The free, you were talking about the Adobe Stock free section. Really, really great stuff in there. I use the free version of Adobe Stock all the time.
Right there. Let's see. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna. So basically, what I do is just click W with this. It's like you can do object select or like quick select. So let's try that. If we do object select, it should be able to pick out the person like right away like that. And I'm pressing Q, so like jumping between the red.
So you
selections.
Can see.
Yes, it's like a quick selections mode. So what I was looking at was at the little space on the hand. You probably won't see, but if I zoom in, you can see like little gray lines in here. Usually I take those out. Basically what I was testing is that if I use select subject, like automatically clicking and compare to like object selections. So since like the object selection is smarter here, so like when I click over on that, you can see like you actually select less space on the hand. But also, sorry. You can also select the background. Usually you can select the part that you don't want, and then press Q, jump into the quick mask mode, and also like invert it back. So it kind of like does the same thing. So this one is even cleaner.
Yeah.
So this like save the most time, right? So that usually I test out like different method and to see like, okay, like which one is less work for me to do because I'm a little bit lazy.
Honestly, though, I think that is such an incredible tip because there's a lot of different avenues that you can take in order to select something. And really, you can watch a tutorial on selecting something perfectly, but you kind of have to know a little bit about all of those different methods, right? Because depending on your subject, if you're trying to select around like super curly hair, or if you're trying to select around something that has got much more of a clean edge, different things will work better for it. But going over all of these is really very, very informative. And I like that you kind of did the inverse selection of that, because that was perfect. And honestly, I was just trying to select something the other day and ended up having to like lasso around little pieces and drove me nuts. What I should have done is just selected what I didn't want.
Sometimes it helps, and with that said, like this little bar right here, the icon is also right here, right? Putting on the mask, so we got like a pretty clean. But you see, like usually there's a little, I don't know, it's like when you zoom in, it doesn't exist, but when you zoom out, you can see there's like a very thin line right there. So sometimes I just go into like clear the mask area too, just to make sure there's nothing around.
Yeah,
and I
it's
moved
like
them around too.
like a teeny tiny transparent pixel around the borders of the original asset.
And for while you were speaking, I was using like a bunch of like different tool. Basically, I have a shortcut. I think it's like Command Option Shift and right click. Oh no, Command Shift right click or something. But basically what I do is that I can adjust the brush size while I'm like working on it. But I have it binding to like the key on this pen right here. So it's like one click. Yeah, so I can like move left and right to adjust the size. And then one whole space bar, I can move the canvas around. Pressing Z, going in and out. So like if you're looking from the side, it might feel a little bit dizzy, but I'm just like going like with my mind, just like, cause I'm like driving in my head, right? So, I need to go here, clean this and that, and then like flip the brush and stuff. So now it's like Command T, like transform, Control T, and then we're just gonna follow. But you see that line pop out right there again? It's like sometimes there, sometimes not there. I don't really know why, but just to make sure it's not there.
Sometimes, honestly, when I do that, sometimes I will just take a lasso and select my guy and then invert it, and just like mass delete.
So we have, following this little guideline, we're gonna put our little character right here. And basically what we want to do next, this is like the slightly tricky part, but basically what I do is I have it as a smart object and I have a mask on it, but I also want to do like a puppet rope, how do you say it?
Puppet warp?
Warp? Warp? Okay, I can do it here. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes also like it adjusts it, but not the mask. So I'm gonna try it out. Basically, what I want to do here is like, if you look at this character, she's like looking down on the ground, right? But to follow like our little guideline and everything, we want her to kind of like look up from the sky, right? Look outward. So we need to adjust her postures. We gotta have a better posture when we're editing,
I'm like
talk about that, like my
chair,
back, like lower back
yeah.
and everything. Everything suddenly sit out and it slowly like slush down. So we're gonna put here and here. What I'm doing like an anchor point. So when I move this, it will like not move the other two parts. So I can also add another one and just like tilt her head out. Okay, but you see that it's following the mask.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert it to another smart object again, and then now I can do the transform like pop her up. So I'm gonna do the same thing right here, and then now she should look up as we move like that.
Ooh.
Perfecto.
I love how you used that just now, because I honestly would have gone and like moved her head and then moved all the individual pieces, but you've really got it on like a swivel.
Yeah, it's kind of like moving a little bit here. So it's like an anchor point and then you're moving other parts, so it's like not moving that dot. So kind of like that. Well, and then since I use it as a smart object, so I can always double click and go back to editing like the anchor point and make it look better. Probably look like that. Yeah, she's a little bit. I feel like I could do a little bit better silhouette on that. Maybe not that. Kind of don't want to break her outline. So
but I see what you mean, though. Like,
and then we can like adjust it a little bit. So when you do like Command T again, it's gonna jump back, but then like it will also hold the puppet ring.
Oh yeah.
She's ready for the Halloween party. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is to save your file real quick.
Steven says he still lives by the pen tool. I think if you're good at the pen tool, then use
pen tool,
what's good for you.
So I actually don't really know how to use pen tool that well. Curve, it just won't curve, and I know how to fix it.
I can do it around certain things, but when you start getting into like really intricate things with it, I'm like,
I think I need a pen tool like tutorial, maybe it will faster my like workflow. But I'm so used to my workflow, so I can just like stick with it.
Sometimes you have to do what feels best for you.
Yeah, but if I could master pen tool, I would totally use it because I think a lot of people talk about like good thing about it. So
Cody says that I look very cute, and I really appreciate it.
Aww.
What about Ted? Look at Ted. Ted's magic.
Okay, so we're gonna jump on the mask create the mask basically because we want her to stand around the area there. And we're gonna press F5 and come to my whole brush collections. Unnecessary have so much like brush. Oh
my
also when
gosh,
you're talking
me
about
too.
the hair, I have a hairbrush that people freaks out by it.
No, that's great though.
It's great.
It's so good.
You know, yeah.
Especially like when you need to edit a face or you need to like you have to cut something out of a background and it's just like a really convoluted, crazy background. You could just go in and add, especially if it's small. So you could just do the
exactly. You know, I know you know. Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah, but this is not unnecessary. How much brushes I have? I know most of it, but sometimes like to particularly looking for one brush, I couldn't find it. So it might be easier if there's like a search bar in the future. You can type like what brush you're looking for. So
you'd have to
team, if
name
you're
them all, but
yeah.
yes, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Cody said, "You're a wizard, Teddy."
Thank you. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, like selecting the grass brush, and then there's like the shape dynamic and scattering. You can click and adjust it, so like it will create like different patterns, and then everything you can just play around. Basically, just like create this like random pattern.
Yes.
So it helps me to kind of create like a realistic looking like fur, grass, and everything that she's like in there. So what I'm doing just like kind of like quickly brushing around. Pretend how tall the grass is, and then we're gonna go back and retouching a little bit.
Okay.
Unclick that. So, do you use pressure on your tool?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
I feel like I should learn how to do it. I don't have the pressure turned on. I never had it on.
It depends on the brush because some brushes don't need pen pressure, but a couple of my favorite things to put on is I do like to use pen pressure, especially if it's a brush that's supposed to be used for like atmosphere, I don't have to press so hard and it's not like one
like a chunk.
Yeah.
It's like you're stamping, right?
So
you want,
like a
different
fog
pressure.
brush, or a cloud brush. Definitely good to have pressure. And then for certain brushes where I'm like adding in like foliage, like leaves and stuff, I like to put like the scatter on because then it rotates and everything, and it makes things look like if you have a leaf brush. It scatters it around, it rotates the leaves, and it makes them different sizes. So you could do like a pile of leaves with one stroke instead of like stamping leaves into a place.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I just use the brush, and then you see I play with the grass and not reduce it because the grass is not really too tall around there, and then like we can move her around like somewhere that makes sense. So just gonna drop in there, and we're gonna create a new layer and then hold Options or Alt on PC, and you click Mask to the ladies there. So basically what I'm doing is that when we talk about like composite, right? Like we decolor it and recolor it and with the lighting and everything. But since like this environment is kind of like a foggy environment, so basically the light is bouncing everywhere, but it's still coming from like the further side. Like let me draw it from this area, right? So it's like coming towards you here, but the light is so even and with the shadow and everything. So in this type of like compositing, what I do is with the new layer that we're clipping, I just sample the color around it, and then press like 6 for like 60%, and just kind of like brush on there. So it kind of like fit into that environment.
You know, you always give us these tips, Ted.
It's just so
like,
easy to do
I
it.
should just do, you could do X, Y, and Z, or you could just do it in 4 seconds and make it look like a masterpiece very easily.
But you see, like that's why I love Illustrator and concept artists and people who paint so much, because they have to do it from the scratch. There's no like reference to do.
That was so good though, and I also feel like I'm making jokes and stuff, but like it takes experience to figure out that you can just do that little bit in order to do it, because you've probably like worked too hard, right?
There's a lot of weird paths that I tried.
Yeah,
trying to get that right.
And that's that trial and error of the artist, right? Of like where you're like, I'm trying to make this thing, and then you see somebody like Ted come in and just put her in the atmosphere of the background. And next time I paint, I'm probably just gonna paint
similar.
I'm gonna paint a character exactly how I would And then I'm going to sample colors around it and just put her in the distance.
Basically, what you're thinking is like the distance, right? So she's in between here. She's in between this color and then this color, right? So that's like kind of like in between lighting and everything. So what else I did is also I create like a shadow, just simpling the color around like the ground area that's like close to her, and also thinking about like the light is coming from like this directions, light's coming from this direction. So that means like there's a little bit more highlight on that shadow, right? So like I was like kind of erasing it with like different percentage of opacity and everything. So this kind of like create like the fake shadow, and then since the light, as I said earlier, is very even on this canvas, so we don't have to like worry about it too much. All right, so the next what we want to do is to group and name your layer, lady. But yeah, just name your layer. It helps. Easier to
it definitely helps, especially if I feel like you and I are in the same situation. You ever have like files where there's like 500 layers and then you're searching around with like the control click trying to
oh yeah, what I found out is that if you hover your mouse around the layers now, it actually kind of tell you like what it is. Yeah, so it helps a lot. And then what we want to do, since like we're gonna hide a monster behind it, so basically what we do is like this is like a perfect silhouette thing the tree branches. So basically like it's a great cover for our monster. So we're gonna select some area around here. It doesn't have to be super perfect as much as cover the body area that you want to cover. I won't say body part. No, the body area for your monster to cover it, to hide behind it. So select the background, Ctrl+C, come in, copy and paste, put on there, and then we're gonna jump into here. This is like some 3D asset like downloads I could use on here. So like you can also just like search like spiders. So basically what I do is I make sure I move this to the top. So it's like tree cover. But now you can see like what I mean by like hiding the spiders in there. It's like pretty fun, like, to give like a distant and airy feeling. So why do I have two spiders? So basically I want to see like which one have like a stronger silhouette. They're both pretty aggressive attacking and stuff. But for like this part like that's missing on the edge, like either I have to enlarging it, but that's too large. So I think I will use this one. Just have like a longer shape. And then put it around, maybe there, something that will adjust it a little bit, make it longer.
This is kind of reminding me of one of my favorite scary movies.
Oh, which one?
The Ritual.
Oh yeah.
It's good,
no,
right?
I literally went to look at the Ritual's monster real quick to get the feeling and vibe. That's why this is like where it take a turn to like get so dark.
It's one of the best designs. It's
the monster design is great.
Incredible.
Yes,
if you are, I know it's spooky day. It's the spookiest of days. If you are into scary movies, horror films, that sort of thing, and you're looking for a show for this evening, highly recommend The Ritual, but that's all I will say about it because it's
pretty scary.
Wild.
There's also Hereditary from A24. Don't watch that. It's very scary. Anyway, I call this spider. And then the same method that we use. I can talk about horror movies all day, but I don't want to scare the audience. No.
We will give recommendations. We just won't tell you what they're about.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to do the same thing, sample the color, and just kind of pen over it.
Wade said it's a great movie, a fun little romp.
Yeah.
Just a romp in the woods. Yeah.
And this is where we change the blending mode to like color or like situations. Or sometimes even use like darken and multiply to see whichever worked the best. I think like darker kind of looks cool, but you see that little thing.
Yeah, a little detail.
Reduce that a little bit too much. Even just normal might work.
You know, you're, one of your superpowers, Ted, is that you really know how to eyeball something. You really do.
I know. It's not. You probably shouldn't be eyeballing. You should be like very accurate if you can.
Well,
I mean, really like eyeballing stuff.
But you hit the nail every time, and I'm watching you do it. And like, if you are not satisfied with it, you'll change it up or something. But I noticed that I spend a lot more time. I would say matching colors overall in a piece than you do, because you can kind of just tell that like this is the right place, because that looks great.
No, but like I feel like if you take a closer look, you will see like some mistake. But I'm just like tricking your brains here and there.
Well, you don't have to worry about that until all photographs are interactive. People are like
what I'm doing
enhancing.
is as you said earlier, right? So I'm actually painting some highlights and shadow. So I'm sampling the darker area and then just like kind of, because you got to think about like how this thing actually looks like in real life. So like there should be some shadow hitting
The
like
mass
the back, like the leg, you know, some area. It doesn't have to be super accurate. So the best thing about this type of photo is like because it's so foggy area, so like you don't have to have super high details on everything, because that's how like everything looks. Because look at the tree in the background, right? It's just like fading away with some like, textures and color and gradient. So basically just like very easy to simple things around. You can also add a little bit highlight. I'll say maybe around there to like things here, right? You can add some like highlights. You could go like super detail, like if, for example, if this is like the highlight you want to add, you can do stuff like that. But I kind of like the very like dark shadow, like every vibe, because like,
that
the
hard
mysterious like figure
silhouette.
Yeah. So I'm like kind of like going in here and then simple like the brighter green. So you can't really see till I go super close, but you see that this is before and after. So I kind of added that. And then like if it's taking out too much detail, because I'm just straight painting on the normal, so I'll just use erase and then kind of like control the opacity, like kind of like still save some details in there.
Yeah.
And then was like kind of go with that. So now we have like a really, really cool spider.
Ted's got glasses, Val. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to do my glasses.
Please do it.
This is where we get super serious.
We
guys.
might want to wait until Jacob gets here so we can zoom in. No,
This is where I get like full Photoshop power.
Yeah.
Zoom out.
It's so
I'm going
good.
super mode, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
like
perfect.
it's like time
So
to get
does it just-
serious.
Like right when you push
Yeah.
it up. Oh, that's perfect. I need a pair of those.
Yeah, I know.
That's so good.
It's great. But I need my regular glass to see. So I'm back. All right, back to Photoshop, you know. I was like, I forgot to do that. I was like trying to jump into Photoshop. But that's my like super mode, you know, like get serious, like everything. Okay, so we're gonna move it a little bit lower because like this is pretty much like the same perspective. The leg is touching there. So like I don't really need to do too much work. And if you want to blend things together. Thank you. If you want to blend things together easier, you can just simple the similar color around the ground, like where the feet is touching, like similar dark. So this like give a little bit like better to see that, oh, like it is touching there and being part of it.
It's like hovering
so hiding
above.
into there. Yeah, exactly. So now we have that. So when I was working on this, I was like, how do I make this horrifying, right? So I'm just like, I think like usually when things scares me the most is like when they have like human-like shapes and it's like kind of
But
crawling
it's not
around.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not right. So I was like, oh, I can put like one of those. I know like half horse, half human is like what is it called?
Centaur?
Centaurs, yeah. But what do you call half spider, half human? Not Spider-Man, but like.
A boss, a girl boss. That's what you call
Yeah.
it.
But anyway, so.
I don't know if there's a name for that. Does anybody know if there is a name for a creature that's like half woman, half spider?
I have no idea. But yeah, so basically what I think was that, you know who will have the best silhouette are dancers. So dancers is like perfect. Same thing, select the background I don't need, and copy and paste. And then shrink it down. I will actually, let me right click, turn this into convert to smart object. This gotta be like an easier shortcut to do that. But what I do is when I shrink it down, it won't like affect the resolutions and everything. So still be like crispy sharp. And then what we want to do is to hide her behind the spiders. No, not in the layer. We're gonna put her here. So she have like a really cool like silhouette for it. But now you probably can't really tell. So the same thing, super easy. Click the layer, new layer mask and just paint it over with like similar with that. This is so easy to do with that. And then you see still preserve all the
but it's
and
perfect,
things.
yeah.
Because like the lighting I pick is also everything was kind of like universal lighting around and like very similar environmental lighting. And what I could do is to click this. This one is girl. What is this? Oh, spider. Talking about naming your layers.
They're giving fake names, I think. They're making up names for
That's
a half woman,
perfect,
half
yeah.
spider. We have Arachnean.
Black Widow?
Honestly, yeah, we have Black Widow. We have
Yeah.
Arachnean, which honestly, I accept
pretty
that.
cool name, yeah.
I accept that.
So I was like, oh, this would be like a pretty cool silhouette. I was like, she's like aggressive, like looking at her.
And it kind of goes with the raised spider legs, right?
Yeah,
Like she is
she's
also like
because you know,
you
like
came to the wrong place.
like you are trying to make yourself look bigger to scare the other prey away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that direction, we still maintain that like triangle looking with the size and everything. Kind of like go with that.
Yeah.
And with the rule of third, so everything looks pretty good. But now it's just like that just looks like a regular like boring like spider half person thing.
Let's make
but
it
how do I make it like
worse. Let's make
worse,
it way
right?
worse.
Let's make it worse, you know. Okay, so that being said, this is where things gets a little bit weird. So from the design that we saw with the ritual, right? So basically, I went on Adobe Stock. I type in arm. So this is like all the stock number you can see. So anybody want a screenshot, you can like download the same stock. And then same thing, selecting an area you don't need. There's a little white area here that we don't really need to like clean it till like we use it, right? So same thing, press Q. Invert it, Command I, press Q again, and then press this masking. So now we gotta do that. Actually, I'm gonna do the same selection, copy and paste. So basically, I have like the PNG ready to use. So this is where things get worse, right? So I want to make
get worse.
I want to make it look like there's a human arm part that's coming out of it and like reaching to the lady. So this is like, oh, which arm do I want to pick? So I was just like, this is gonna be a cool arm. So I'm gonna select that and then do the same thing and then right click while I'm in this mode, transform mode, then you can change it and we can do like something like that. Probably make it like more skinny and then like scarier. And like if I put it around here, I'm trying to figure out like what would be like a good area to put it. Because it could be like the bottom part or like the mouth part where it's like trying to eat it. So
like
a little bit.
a big spider, but instead of the mandibles, it's like.
But obviously you can tell like, oh, that looks so fake, right? But remember, the same thing, just simple the color, pen it over, that's perfect, you know?
It is coming together very well.
And if you want to make it more 3D dimension with like the rays and everything, you can go in. This is where you go in, and then like you can pen the little highlights into like each fingers, top of the hands and stuff. But it's kind of like playing with the illustrations. Like it doesn't have to be like super accurate, and then you can also lower the opacity a little bit so you can still see the details and everything, you know. So 98 can kind of see this line, like your brain kind of like get tricked with that, right? But I feel like it might need to be darker because it's like similar with the legs and everything. So I'm just gonna simple with that. So this is like where things start to like get worse, right? And then I was like, oh, which other arm we want to use, right? Because I wanted to like, so we have the right hand. We're gonna try to use the left arm. Maybe this one looks pretty creepy, right? So welcome to my creature monster building lab.
If we got a little,
I know. I was like, what is that? You know, so that could be. But you can also try to like make it longer. But obviously, like you have to do. What I could do is to select this part. Come see, paste. Actually, no, I'm gonna cut and paste and make this part longer.
Oh, there you go.
That part will still like stick together like that. Perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Merge it. Clip on other layers. Same thing. Doing that same thing, right? Pen it over. Perfect. Now it worked. So this is like how I play with the monster building sometimes. So it could be like, but that looks like kind of boring, right? Because it's like too straight. So I convert to a smart object and do the same thing with puppet, right? Because like I think when you can do like more bending, arming, like looks like really trying to reach it like naturally, it's like more scary.
Yeah.
So like also like you can also do like a little bit with that and then like wrist because like you can like kind of think about like how your arms are
like,
looking. Yeah, exactly. Because originally I was trying to make like all the legs of the spider is like human arms that like crawl around grabbing stuff. That'd be really creepy. But you know, if you can draw that later, that'd be like super cool to see, you know. But now like thinking about like how the elbow looks and everything, or like I can like put the little hands on like top of the spider legs too, right? So this is like a kind of other fun way to like use it to just like, hey, I just want to be friend, you know? Can I talk to you real quick? Excuse me, right? So like
that looks good. That looks really
good.
good.
Even with that, is like, how do I make this even more creepier? You know, like I can go like super crazy, but I found out that if I just do
tune in every 10 minutes, and Ted will make this worse.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah. So basically, I think like, how do I make it even worse? So I went to see the ritual, like the monster design. I was like, oh great, like to make her upside down will make things worse.
Yes, it would make
Yeah.
her. Yes, because then it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was like,
cool though.
yeah, how do I make things worse? You know, like this is great, like in the
Honestly,
horror
the
way.
way that the limbs kind of splay
Yeah,
out too
like
is
the
very
shape.
like.
Yeah. You already know. So do the same thing with that, because like when the most horrifying thing is like when things are kind of like unknowns and like you don't know what it is.
Vaguely
That scares
human,
you
but
a
not
little.
but not quite right.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like,
Yeah.
uh
That is
oh.
some
Cody's
highs, but-
like, oh no.
I'm inspired by you guys as a little Furbies. What is that thing called?
Furby.
What is it called
Furby.
again?
Yeah.
What is it
we
called?
did
The-
and we made the brush, and we made.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, if you guys can do that, I can probably get away with this
Yeah,
like,
because
horrifying
that was terrifying. And I did have images of Furbies like with like arms and legs reclining.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah, Cody says, "Oh no, I hate that." That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah.
Also, we have Jeff Trojek back in the chat, and he says he's kind of greeting us after not being here for a while. So it's great to have you
Welcome
here with us,
back.
Jeff. Thank you so
Sorry,
much.
this is why you have to handle when you just come back from Adobe Live and you're like, oh god.
Okay, the official timestamp on YouTube at 1:38:44. Ted makes things worse.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't sound very sincere.
No, I'm not sorry.
I'm lying.
So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to make it more layer here. So basically, I want the arm to cover this part, but still behind that leg. So I'm just trying to blend in here a little bit, like that, and then take that out. Kind of. I just want to see what it looks like. As it's like not blending is so much there, but I guess it's fine. I'll just keep it.
I like that it
on
has
the back.
more, you know.
Yeah, I just keep it on the back. It just kind of look like that, but it should be fine. But I will probably add a little bit more shadows and other thing into this arm, the detail, but we can just get that. But now you see like this looks like it's hunted, reaching
it's like
toward to the person. Well, like there's another like upside down line. Hello there. You get the
It's
joke?
Kenobi down there.
Yeah, Mr. Kenobi there. We can always make things worse. Like for example, adding like more different body part onto like top of it, because now we have like a perfect bag.
More arms.
Or add some like little detail. Because like something I thought would be like really funny. It'd be like I really love this gestures that kind of like welcome, come to me, right? Or like even this, just like want to like shake hand, we can just like copy that, and then like I thought about putting it on like the little tiny like there. That would be like kind of cool.
Do it.
Yeah. But then like I don't know how that would actually work. So, but we should just try out to see how horrifying that would look.
Yeah. Just a little tickle tickle.
You know, yeah, a little, just a little hello. You know, like we can like probably like you know. But then I was like, oh, they can't really see. It's kind of boring, or I have to readjust the arm to make it thicker. So I might not do that. I really like that arm. That arm is like pretty cool.
I wonder if you could put, if there were like, you could put them though on the feet, touching the ground, like hands. Only because if nobody noticed it, it would be fine. But if they did notice it, it would be that much more creepy. You know,
I
like
see.
so the
Like
hands that are like.
I could probably put on like a or like you know, where they capture the or like some spiders web. That would be pretty cool. But you know, like also you can always like top it on the bag, like it's like a new part, new character unlock. You know, like a smash. Dun, 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 dun.
You have chosen worst spider.
Yeah, worst spider. I think like just adding the limbs make it really horrifying. You know,
I would
just,
agree.
Like,
I would agree.
like kind of like saying hi to like different part, you know, like it's just like making it like multiple crazier, right? But like I think it'd still be really cool if I can like just like change it to like human arm like that, right?
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
That would work.
But I think I have to thicken like all her the spider lady's limbs to like make it like truly horrifying, like that one. If you don't look at the spider leg, but for now we just put it there, right? So that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is getting horrifying.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with
love
it. So basically, this is like what we have, and then I'll show you guys like so from here, right? If you want to do a little bit simple animation, not like heavy, crazy animation, we can bump into here. So this is like the version I created earlier before. But basically, what I did is I did like a quick cleanup. So you can see like all these like spiders and everything, and then we have the this foreground, background.
Oh, so you separated everything
Yeah,
out.
separate everything. So it's like a more easy to animation in a different layer. So basically, like you don't have to separate the foreground, background, but I want to do like 2 layers animation. So this is what I did, and then we'll jump into right here. So this is the part where I deleted that layer by accident. That makes more sense now. So this is like basically what we could do. Is let's jump into here, and then we'll pop into our folder, clean up there. So you can literally just drag your PSD file straight to Adobe Express, and you can add it as like a link or create a new file. I always like to use this as a new file, so I'm gonna let it load. It shouldn't take too long, but if it's taking too long, we'll do something, you know? No, we'll just be waving the one, you know, like hurry up.
Yeah.
What was the spell to like speed things out? I don't know.
I
if
can't
there's
remember.
one.
I only know the one that.
Leviosa.
Yeah, that floats.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
like green screen something floating with the fishing line. That'd be
I
funny.
know, that would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's working. It's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working
It's
over
going
time.
fine. And
I mean, we can always jump back to the only one layer I saw I was missing was this tree. So basically, what I could do is to export it as a PNG to put on there.
And then throw it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to show you guys I can do this on Adobe Express.
It's converting. It's chugging. It's a
Yeah.
big file too. That's another question. Maybe we can talk about that while we're waiting.
Yeah.
What size do you usually work with for these widescreen kind of pieces now?
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
would love
pretty
to know
big.
what.
Because this is on this is technically on inches right now. So that's like close to 20 inch by 9 inch. So that's like
Oh yeah, that's
200
huge.
DPI.
Yeah.
I work on huge files. I don't know why. Maybe I don't need to.
No, that's great because I think that the file size
slows down.
nice. It also kind of goes into like how much detail you're able to put into it too, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like your pieces are very crispy, so I wanted to know what size they were.
Yeah. So basically, the file looks super blurry right now, but don't worry, it's just loading.
It just needs a little time
it just
to
needs time loading.
yeah.
Because I was
I've
like,
had
why
that
is this
happen
so
to me,
blurry?
too.
I was in like in the Uber. I was like, why is this so blurry?
Why? Where's my
Um,
quality?
Yeah, so basically what we could do is to go in here, click on animation. So you select the layer you want to animate it first. So I think like, and then we'll pick animation. So we do rise. And where's my added timeline? I was like, where did you go? Show layer timing. So basically, I keep saying basically, I just noticed that. So we want to make the tree come out first, and then the second foreground, the background pop up, and then the little person, and then a spider. But the spider have to be behind the wood, so the wood might need to like appear somehow, but we can hit it there. Okay, so we click that, and then we're gonna click the background layer, click animation. There's like different way to do it. We can do like spin, or we'll spin the spider. So basically, I'm gonna say basically. Every time I say basically, you have to drink water. That's how we stay hydrated. Click fade. And then I could move this timeline right here. So what I'm doing is like, you can see the tree come first and then the background. And when I play, you can kind of see the animation of it coming, right? So I just need to time that better. And go into animation, click the same thing, make the duration faster. So I want the tree to pop out. And then we can adjust the layer of the background maybe till here. So when we play, it should look like comes up, fade in. Okay, that's taking a little bit too long. Put it there. Let's try it. Comes up, fade in. And then I will also do the same thing with this because I don't want you guys to notice that that tree part was there. So basically now I have this fade in.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the same thing with the person. We'll make her come in, maybe slide or rise. No, what would be a fun way? Not that.
Actually, just bounce.
Yeah,
you
we're
fell
just
out
gonna
of
make
the
it
tree.
bounce. And you can see all the, when
Honestly, I
I'm
like
adjusting
that.
this, you can see all the little blue dots that represent the other layers timing. So now if we play, now we have coming out, fading it, bouncing it, and then this is where the spiders will come in, right? So we're gonna adjust the time like right after that. click the animation, and timeline is also fun. We could change
We
the
could do
directions,
that
I think.
from another direction
other
because
side.
it's like that's
Yeah.
actually kind of cool.
Or rise, right? Or coming from the top. Oh, there should be bungee, yeah, like a little spider.
Oh, yeah.
Like a character coming. You can also make it like bounce super intense, or duration make it longer. So you just keep bouncing. So it's like different animation you can pick, up or down. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I love it.
And adjust the time, so maybe about here. So when we do that, it kind of looks like, oh, there's one's a time, the forest, the princess, and the spiders. Obviously, you can control the timing better depending on like the music beats and everything. And then we don't need this to be super long. This add audio, you can do it. I'm not adding audio because I don't know what audio I want to use to, but you can put like super like airy horror like music. Is there like a loop button? I feel like there's a loop button I'm playing.
I don't remember. I'll
yeah.
pull it up, but I'm on my iPad.
Basically, this is like a fun way you can animate it with Adobe Express with Animate. You can also do like loop, so it will just like keep spinning. But we don't need it to
We
spin
don't need
it.
it to do that,
Yeah,
yeah.
it can do this too. You see the little jitter, so that's actually really cool. So it's like little monster, Which is like make it not so
You know what I
intense,
was
but make it
thinking would be
long.
really, really cool is
Yeah.
if, because you have like everything separate, if you remove the background and then went into Photoshop and like removed the trees completely out of the background so it was like still full back, then you could do
yeah.
like a parallax too.
Oh yeah, like
Would be
that
really
too.
cool.
But with the tree, it's so hard.
Yeah,
I
because it's
basically-
like big. You'd have to really
Yeah.
like probably use generative features to like fill in some of the blanks.
So imagine you guys are looking at us. We are the canvas,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like the foreground background. So it move like this. So you see like different like speed and distance. So it feels like you're actually painting in the cinematic, like the movie.
That would be cool though, but a lot of
That
work.
would be
a lot
super
of work,
cool.
and we only have like maybe 5
5 more
minutes
minutes.
left. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're just like playing with like some other maybe not yo-yo. I like the loop because it just like keep going back and forth. But then like this is pretty much like the animation I'll probably pick.
I
This
love
is like
that.
a little quick like showing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have 5 more minutes. Like
You could do like a fade to black, and then you could put like like the next one have it fade,
a title and stuff.
title, yeah, come in
'cause
like
you
cinematic.
you did one storyboard with that online. That one was really cool.
And it could be like coming to you.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But there's also like if you want to do like a poster and thing, you can also like look for a template. You type like posters. There's like all this cool. Oh, this is cool.
Oh, that's sick! Actually,
Yeah.
I love that.
Even that one. That one's so cool. Is this like Halloween special?
Yeah.
I like
Special
that
templates
one.
for Halloween.
So starting a new file and
I
can
like that a
click-
lot.
Double click this. How do I go into there? Because that's a group, right? Oh, right here. And then replace with upload. Let's go to... Actually, I wonder if I can just go on here. And then with this 50 layers, one of it is going to be my art. We can like put it, cover the
Nice,
top,
yeah.
And then I'm just gonna borrow that edges right there. Kind of cool.
Honestly,
Wow,
yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, with the bars, the dark bars, it just looks even more like a film.
Yeah, you
You
can
know?
change like, wait, what is this layer on the top? Okay, so I think when I click it, it's like affecting, this is like a texture layers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If
You know what I do is if I
lock
like
it-
the texture, I just like drag it underneath everything for now.
Oh, I'll put it there.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't put it all the way out. Stay outside. Stay there. You can come back. Oh, it doesn't let me do that.
You can't do it
I see what
off,
you mean.
you
So you
have
have to
to-
drag it to the bottom. Oh,
Yeah, 'cause it'll
okay.
be
So what you
underneath.
did is like that.
And then if I want to bring it back, I'll just bring it up. If you want to mess
Adobe
with the images still,
Live.
though, you would
Yeah.
need to bring it underneath the images. But
Today,
ye shall not cross.
San Francisco. There's also like different font you can pick. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a crime report or something like kind of tag. That's pretty pretty nice.
Cody says it looks like an interactive, scary storybook, and honestly, it's kind of giving me. Did anybody else read Scary Stories to Chill Your Bones?
Oh yeah.
When you were a kid,
I
I
like
read
that
those. I don't know why that was in the Scholastic Book Fair. I don't know why, because they're actually legitimately terrifying. But
They are.
this is kind of giving me those vibes. and
Yeah,
I
so
love them.
you can also like pop it, and then there's like different way you can design the. Oh yeah, we don't need this anymore unless we want to make things. We could totally make. I have so many ideas. I can make this worse, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like but I think there's like different filter. You can also like turn it to look like one of these posters, like textures and noise.
Yeah. Give it noise. Give it a little, almost like
If you do,
VHS scratch kind of.
And then, do you have to filter with like 50%?
Honestly, you could just do, like, if you convert everything into a smart object so that it's all one, just go to filter, blur, and then you can just add noise in a filter.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna select all of it, come in J, come in E, splash it, filter, custom blur?
Add noise.
I
there
got
should
blur
be,
first,
like,
right?
Noise. I can't see for some reason. Noise underneath distort.
Wait, but do I need to blur first?
I mean, you could if you wanted to.
Let's try
but
it.
you can add
Let's
it
blur
directly too.
Yeah. Noise, add noise. How do I do? Maybe not that.
Maybe not crazy, but
Oh,
yeah,
you
honestly,
can
that
also,
looks
like-
now that looks like almost like the Bigfoot
That,
photo.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
scary.
very,
Multiply.
very
so I'm
scary.
holding like on Mac, you can hold. PC, you just click it and press up and down key, but on MacBook, you just hold Shift plus and minus sign so you can rotate it the blending mode.
Nice.
This is actually really cool. I like
That
that
is.
one. Actually, I like this one because you can't really tell what it is. This one is like more focused on the foreground.
Almost looks like one of those like candid photos where
Yeah.
you're,
So
but I think that's all the time we have left for
Oh, yeah.
today.
Okay.
So
that's what it is here, guys.
thank you. This was such a fun show. This was so, this was so much fun. I hope that you folks have enjoyed this, Ted. It has been fabulous hanging out with you.
That was good to
We
see
are
you.
not going anywhere though because there are more excellent spooky shows coming up. Right after this, we're going to have Ted and Mickt doing Animate A Ghostly Design, which
Ooh,
that's
I
going to
like
be
it.
fun. And
It's
then
gonna be fun,
I will be
guys.
back at the end of the day for a Graveyard Smash. Dude,
Yeah.
those are so good. I'm so jealous. I need a pair of those. I need them in my life.
I know.
All right.
See you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
We're gonna be making fall vision boards. I have a couple images here that I already picked out, but let's go ahead and add in some more images. So personally, I like to use Adobe Stock.
Fall wardrobe, I think,
Okay.
is kind of important. I bet you could remove the background on
yes.
that and like do some cool
Yes,
overlay
yes, yes.
collage-y thing.
Let's see, let's remove the background on this too. Will it remove?
You know what, Adobe Express?
Wow.
Say less.
All right, we need some more food. I have an iced coffee.
A nightcap beverage.
A hot
it could
toddy.
be a hot toddy.
Next is deciding a layout. If you find it over on this grids section, this grids tab, you can easily just drag and drop images and then you can form a collage that way. Or there are templates for collages or vision boards in Adobe Express. You can search up mood board or search up vision board. There are so many cute ones. So this is kind of what we're landing on here. So this image is sticking out. It's bothering me because it's blue. This is kind of how I like hack a little bit. I will bring down the saturation and then turn up the warmth. The next thing is to add your style. After the base images are laid out, then I'll add in the bells and whistles and stuff like that. So in this next board, I have the assets board. And again, similar to what we did, just copying and pasting over. We were super prepared, so we're just, this part just makes it so much easier, you know? Also, I would take this time to like even add in maybe some text. I'm gonna add a shape behind it, so it could be almost like a magazine cutout kind of vibe. We'll put like cozy vibes. And also, if you go to Adobe Stock, and I think if you put like, what was it, magazine words, they'll have letters.
No way.
They have letters, so you could like put them together.
That is so cool.
The most important part of this, the point of this, is to make it visible every day. A lot of people will put their vision board as their like iPad like home screen or like on their phone or anything like that. But you know what? Boom. Here's another way. So I turned this into a desktop organizer. There are templates for that in Adobe Express, so just search desktop wallpaper organizer. And so I'll just put the mood board on the left side, just visually, just so it's there, but it's also, I can still see my icons, so.
I love it. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. Adios.
Bye!
Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Ted, aka Ted's Little Drink. I'll be your host for this session. And we have Mickt Flior.
Yes.
Yes, illustrator and graphic designer, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so good to see you. I think I saw you in Adobe Max like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were there. We didn't
were
get to
there.
talk, but we were
We didn't
both
get to
there.
talk. There was a lot
Having
of
a
great
great
things happening, so I had a great time. Hope you had a great time there too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit more about yourself and what we're working on today.
Right. I am an illustrator and designer from Brazil, but I'm based here in the U.S. And I actually started as a UX designer.
Oh.
Just kind of recently did the transition to illustration full time. So right now I'm a full-time freelance illustrator.
Congrats. Was it easy transition?
No.
Or it was hard?
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was very hard to decide like my style and everything. So
I see.
today I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. You know, that thinking, that process.
Yeah. Because I saw your work and I really love it. It's like very vibrant color. And it looks like you have like a very strong character design and style already. Like from me, like my perspective, it looks like already. But you say you're still trying to figure it out, or?
Yeah. I think our style is constantly changing.
Yes.
But yeah, one of the first things that I tried to figure out was the colors that I wanted to use, and I think a lot of illustrators who are just starting, you know, deal with, oh my God, which style do I go for?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's like
it
go
is.
shopping. Yeah.
It is hard.
All right, let's jump into.
All right, so
Information.
today we're gonna start using Adobe Illustrator, and then later we're gonna move to Adobe Express to kind of animate this little ghostly design that we're gonna create. And then you can use that animation actually as a frame for your Halloween photos, your Halloween costume
Ooh,
photos.
I like that.
So let's say you take a beautiful photo with your Harry Potter costume.
Harry Potter costume, guys. You know?
You even have one here,
I know.
guys.
I can't
That's
prepare. I was
crazy.
like, this is like Halloween. I gotta go full out. You know.
Yeah, I should have done the same. I just have little skulls here.
No, it's
but
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
the spirit is there.
Yeah, I'm festive. I'm very pumpkin color today. And yeah, so let's start by looking here. This is my Illustrator file. And as you can see, I kind of created it in the size that I'm gonna wanna use. I'm thinking of doing Instagram Reels because they're video, you know, if you're posting on social media, it's really good to have things already the right size that you need. And if you go see here, you can see that it's 1080 by 1920 because that's pretty much the size that you need for Instagram Reels.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I like to, you know, start creating my canvas the size that I need. I don't always do that, but if I know what I'm creating it for, it's a big help because it kind of helps you figure out the space that you have to work.
Yeah, I think it's like easier like when you have the canvas already. So it's like, okay, I can just focus on design, so you don't have to change anything like too much later.
Yeah, especially if you're working with client work, client projects. It's really important to just have an idea of what's gonna look like when it's final. You know, especially if it's in print. But this is digital. So here I'm gonna turn on one of my layers. You can see that I have a sketch.
Ooh.
This is kind of my very rough sketch. I have a little hand lettering at the top. I love working with hand lettering. And then on the bottom, I have a few candles, have a little creepy spider, and then I have some stars. And then my plan is that the photo is going to be here in the middle. You know, the focus is going to be here in the middle. So I want to talk a little bit about the colors that I chose. These are the colors that I'm working with today. We're working with a theme, you know, Halloween. And most of my work is not very Halloweeny, I'm going to say. It's very bright, it's very colorful. It's kind of almost too girly. I could say that. So how do I bring this crazy girly style into something that should be a little bit more creepy? I started by just selecting key colors that I always use in my work. So I have the orange, I have the purple, I have the green. If you look here on my website, you can kind of see, you know, the colors that I love working with. A lot of purple, a lot of orange. So when I decided to do this for Halloween, I'm like, I'm gonna start with the colors I already use so that it's kind of coherent there.
Yeah.
And then I added some greens and then off-white. I never work with pure white. Are you a pure white person, or
I
do you
think
love
off-white
working
and
with
beige
off-white?
is like better, right? Because
Beige,
it gives it like a more character information, because you can add texture, easy to see.
Yeah, I like because it makes me think of something that's traditional
Yeah.
in style. So, and do the same thing for the dark. I never work with pure black, although I love the contrast that it brings. But this time I'm working with a dark blue because I think it fits more with the Halloween theme without making it too dark.
Yeah.
I don't want my work to be too dark because then it's going to be a little bit too different than what I already do. And if you're someone that's kind of, you know, overwhelmed by the color choices, are you someone or no? You always know the colors.
No, I feel like I'm pretty bad with color theory. So I kind of just like, as Val said earlier, I just like kind of eyeball it. So I didn't realize it till recently. Like someone pointed out, I use a lot of blue in my work, even though like my favorite color is like red. Yeah, but I was like, I don't know if I like blue that much. I love blue, but I love red more. But all my work is blue for some reason.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of like stick with him, but that's like sometimes I like to try different things. So like seeing your color, I was like, I want to try that.
I work with a little orange, even though I used to say that I hate the color red or orange, but now I accepted that this is who I am, you know. Aww. Orange looks good on me.
Nice.
And looks good in my work. So now I'm starting. What time you start to understand your style a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, I think like for me, like I didn't like, for me, like I focus on more like concept building first when I dive in, like trying to figure out like what's the style and thing I like. So I love surrealism and I love illustration and concept artist work and storyboard.
Yeah.
So a lot of time I kind of like study a lot of like the direction with that, so I put that into my work a lot. Yeah, so then I worry about the color later. And then which every time I see people talking about color, I was like, oh, I can't really talk about it, but like, I want to learn more because I want to learn more. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, you know, worry about colors later, you can just start in illustration. At least you can start doing shades of gray. I think it's a great way to start because then you just worry about what's going to be lighter, what's going to be darker. Just worry about your values and then you can apply color after. So I think a good number is having 6 different colors is good, up to 9, especially if you're starting.
I'm on like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, there are people that like working with less colors, but I love contrast and I kind of, the more colors the better for me.
The more color? Nice, yeah, I like it.
But it can be overwhelming, right?
It could be. It's fun. Interesting you mentioned that because like for me when I talk about like composite or even filmmaking when I first start learning, my professor told us to start with black and white first. Yeah, because like color is like so beautiful, it become like a huge distractions and overwhelm. So when you take that away, you can focus on like the textures, the line, the gradient, contrast, and everything else. Then you add the color like back to back. So I like the different shade of gray. It really helps.
Yeah, if you just starting and don't really know what colors you want to go for, I suggest just doing light shades of gray. Not light, shades of gray. But I know the colors I want to work with. I want to work with these colors, and here I have my sketch. And I'm gonna focus a little bit more on Express today, so I just want to show you guys my vector. So this, if I were vectorizing this would be, you know, these are my basic shapes.
So you start with the sketch and
Yeah,
then
and then I
basic
usually-
shape color.
And yeah, basic shapes and basic color. If I'm not doing shades of gray, I do a lot of black and white first because I can't get lost in the infinite color options, especially if it's something digital. And you probably know that better than anyone. So here I have really basic colors, but like I said, it's too basic. So how would I add a little bit more of personality, a little bit more of, how do I add a little bit more of dimension, maybe making it more three-dimensional, some textures, I don't know, how do I make it stand out a little bit more? So one thing that I can do is I can play with the shapes and then I can add texture. So first I want to play with the shapes. As you can see here in my sketch, I have some fangs coming out of the letter O.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm going to turn the vector off because I want to draw this with my friend, the pen tool. So I'm just going to...
Pen tool, my sworn enemy.
It's your enemy? Why?
No, I just haven't mastered it. I just can't get
me
the
neither.
camera. So I'm watching you working. This is going to be great.
I'm using my trackpad, so it's not the same as using, my huge tablet at home.
Oh, you have the big tablet? Yeah.
I recently started using a huge tablet, but I usually work with Illustrator for iPad.
Okay, so you draw directly on it.
Yeah, but for many years I've just been using the trackpad.
That's hard.
I don't even know how to do things with a mouse anymore. So yeah, let's draw some fangs here. Let's see what it kind of looks like. I don't like my things to be too geometrically perfect. Some things yes, but other things I like when they're a little bit irregular.
That's a little bit more character too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Wow, you are magical today. Okay.
No pun intended.
Right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Command X to cut it. I'm gonna go to the layer where my vectors are and lock it. And I'm gonna do Command Shift V. That's if I wanna paste in place, but as you can tell, my vector layer wasn't exactly on top of it, so I'm gonna kind of adjust here. And then let me add the color that I want. Remove the stroke. And let's put the fangs inside of this blue shape so it actually looks like a mouth. So once you've decided on the location that you want it to be, you just hit Command X, select the layer underneath the object that you want to put things inside of, and then go here, draw inside. And then you're gonna see this little dotted lines here that tells you you're in draw inside mode. But if you don't see that on your toolbar, you can just go here and it's gonna be down here. And a good tip is whenever you don't find something here, because this can be overwhelming if you're just starting, just look for it here. And it's gonna tell you the name. If you hover, it's gonna tell you the name of that tool, and it's gonna tell you the exact location of where it is. As you can see here, it's doing the blue outline. It's a good, it's a good way to find yourself around.
Yeah, okay, so.
And then you just hit Command Shift V to paste in place, and now it's inside.
Okay, so, wait, so how does that work? So you got it done, and then you hit X? Oh, so you cut it? Oh,
yeah,
so you
I
cut
it and I
you-
pasted it in place,
Okay,
but
got
I
it, got
pasted it
yeah.
inside of the shape.
Got it. Okay. So you cut it, and then you went inside the shape, and then you paste it in there.
yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense now. Yeah. I was
I'm
like, wait,
just-
how did you do that?
I'm gonna do Command C just because I want to use that shape again.
Yeah.
And then just do a double click and you exit the draw inside mode. And let's say I want to do the same thing here. Let me do paste. I want it here. So Command X, selected.
Drawing mode, and then paste.
Yeah. And I want it on the B too. I think this could be a kind of deformed mouth of some sorts.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna adjust it. The good thing of working with vectors is that you can't distort.
Yeah, like change the size, transform it. Oh, well, that's cool. What is that?
It's not what I wanted at all, but
That's kind of looks cool.
just double click and then
Yeah.
you're just gonna make this side round, not everything else.
Got it.
Okay, so I like how it's turning out. I think it's looking pretty cool. Very on theme.
It's really cute.
So let's say here I'm working with different colors, right? I have the purple, I have the orange, and that means that it's not gonna work if my background to this illustration is a little bit, if it's orange, you know, the orange colors are gonna disappear. If it's just purple, the purple colors might disappear. So I'm gonna add a border around this whole thing to unify this, and then I don't need to worry so much about it disappearing because I really like my work to be contrasting and popping. And believe it or not, sometimes that's the hardest thing to do.
That's the hardest thing?
I think so. So the way I'm gonna do it is, there are several ways to do this, by the way, but how, well, just like Val was saying earlier, I'm gonna do it the way that brings me more joy.
Yeah, of course.
Not necessarily the faster way. So I'll just select all the objects that make, you know, the border. The first one is the star, and then I hold shift and I can select all the other ones.
The multiple object selection, nice.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do Command C, Command Shift V, and I paste it on top of the other object, as you can see here. I'm gonna do a different color. Let's just do this color, just so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What I usually do is I unify the shape with Pathfinder.
So it combines it.
It combines it, yeah. So if you just go to Window, Pathfinder is here, and this check mark actually tells you that it's already present in your, you know, in your workspace. And if you can't find it, you can just kind of click it. It's gonna pop it open for you. And then I just add a stroke. Just add a stroke, but I'm gonna make it really thick. I'm gonna make it like 20. And if I go here, I can make sure all the corners are round. I like to have everything round in my work, so make sure my strokes are always round.
No sharp edges?
No sharp edges, even though I like them, but I don't know. I think I like round more. And then I align stroke to the outside. So the 20 point that you're seeing is actually the
Around,
stroke
yeah.
outside. It's outside, yeah. And then if I just go to my swatches, I can change it to a color that's more contrasty. I think the green's gonna work perfect with this.
It
And
fits
then
the Halloween too, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go and arrange, send it to back, and it's there. You know, it's really cool. It didn't select this star right here, but that's okay because it's just white. So this is a easy way to add stroke that actually works as a border for multiple elements at once. So let's say now I wanna make this spider a little bit more interesting. It's looking a little bit sad.
Aw, it's looking scary.
Yeah, I wanna make it more scary.
More scary.
Yeah, scarier. So I'm gonna select all the strokes. Yeah, these are strokes that I created with my pen tool. And I'm gonna go here and change the mode to something that kind of mimics a traditional pencil.
Oh, add the textures.
Yeah, it's like a texture. These are the ones that come with your Illustrator. You can add more. You can make your own brushes. But I think these are gonna be good enough for us. And then I'm gonna make them a little bit thicker so you can see. This one is already
fuzzy legs, yeah.
Yeah, I want to do fuzzy legs. That's what I was thinking.
Fuzzy
Thank
legs.
you.
Trying to read your mind with my
Your magic.
yeah.
Okay.
Tasha
So-
says like she usually like, they usually like to go with the wrong edges too. It's pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah, I think, and there are a lot of people that do really sharp edges and people that do both and they don't care. But if you're trying to, you know, keep consistent, I think that's a good way to start. Okay, so I can change the shapes here. You know,
Oh, they
these
make it
are
like
cool.
pointy, yeah.
Yeah, these are really cool. I'm gonna do it like that. And then
Ooh, that
under
does feel more mings and like
yeah,
pointy,
it feels more creepy. So if I go under stroke, I can even do like dashed lines. And you can kind of just play with it. And if you add
This looks so fun.
gap,
Yeah.
it's gonna add more gap to it. But I don't think I want that. I think I just want it like even that way. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
I haven't used illustration for a very long time, so it's like pretty fun to see like how.
You said you
fast-
haven't?
I haven't.
You're a Photoshop guy?
Yeah, I opened Illustrator a long time ago.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. That's cool.
It scares me, so I just like gently close it. I'll come back later.
Yeah, it's a software that can do so
Yeah.
much. It can be a little bit frightening in the beginning.
Yeah.
So let's add some texture to this one here. So this is this kind of spider web
Mm-hmm.
thread, and I want it. This is too thick. I want it kind of like this, but maybe
Yeah.
thicker. Yeah. So now when you see it, it actually has like a texture, almost as if you use the pencil.
Yeah.
And the smaller you make it, the more you can see that cool texture. So let's say I'm happy with this, so I'm just gonna select it all and group it, Command G. And then I'm gonna hold Option as I drag it, and I am gonna reflect. And I'm just gonna adjust this manually.
So options and click, it will automatically like duplicate it?
Yeah, if you select it and then you hold Option as you're dragging, it's gonna duplicate it.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's say I'm happy with this.
Mhm.
I am. I think it looks kind of creepy.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like so fuzzy. I don't want
It's
to touch
fuzzy,
it.
yeah.
Ugh.
And if you really want to get into that, you can even choose to make your own brushes, which I'm not going to do today, but just know that it's an option.
It's an option we can do. Nice.
Yeah, so here I have my candles and they're pretty bland. So let's see if I can add some texture to it. I love working with texture. I started actually, illustrating on I actually started on paper and then I went to Photoshop. So, I also started using color pencils.
Yeah.
I love that grittiness.
The textures and filling, like dragging
Yeah,
on.
it's never, a complete block of color. So I kind of want to, mimic that style with Illustrator, and you totally can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these shapes, hit Shift, select all of them, Command C, Command Shift V to paste on top. And now I'm going to go to Gradient right here.
Ooh, gradient.
If you don't see that, you go to Window, Gradient. It's going to pop up this window. And then let's change to Linear Gradient. It's applying to the border right now, so let's just fix that.
Oh,
Yeah, just click here.
nice.
And then I'm going to change the angle to 90 degrees. Maybe let's reverse it. So the bottom is black and the top is the color that we have, behind it.
The purple, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see it started to add some two-dimensionality to it, but it's kind of, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one of the colors. Actually, no. I'm going to just change the opacity. Here, it's already 0% because I've been playing with this before, but I think it would be... Yeah, I think it would be... I don't know what you would see, actually. You know what you would see when you open this window. But one of them should be 0 and the other one should be 100.
I see. It's like showing the gradient. With the color
And you
behind
can
it,
work
yeah.
with any colors you want. I like working with purples for this. But black also works, and I'm going to show you. So now with everything selected, we're going to go to Effect, Texture, Green. So this window is going to pop up, and this kind of gives you a preview of what your effect is going to look like. Let me do some. And you can see it's like little pixel dots, but you can barely tell. It looks really cool. You don't need to mess with these sliders if you don't want. I usually leave them where they are, but you can add more contrast, more intensity.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
The more green, the better. There are also different green types.
Oh.
There's soft one. It's really soft for me, so I'm gonna go with this one. I think it's called Stipple. And I'm gonna hit OK and pray it works. Yeah, it kind of works. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change from normal to overlay. So I changed the blending mode from normal to overlay.
That's nice because then you get the darker purple. It's like not just the one same shade of purple on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you have a textured gradient applied to the top of your shape, as you can see here. And it's also applied to the top of my highlights. so that it looks like, you know, everything is textured.
Yeah.
And let's say I wanted to apply the same effect to the whole thing. I want to show you kind of what it looks like. So if you want to use this effect for other colors, this is kind of I just prepared a little preview.
Oh, there's like a gradient on there, right?
Yeah, so this is actually, you know, black with the overlay blending mode, and it's on top of all these colors. And you can see that it works really well for light colors and dark colors as well. If I zoom in, you can really see that gradient. It's so soft.
That's nice. I can barely notice it, but I know like there's like a whole color difference
yeah,
on there. Yeah,
you can tell
really
it's
trying
there.
to see it.
It's not like, it doesn't look like so digital anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just like actually like colored pencil, getting that textures on there.
Yeah,
and
the
everything.
grittiness. So I really like working with this. So if you're just starting to play with textures, this is a good way to do so. Okay, so let's say that I apply this texture to all my elements. I'm gonna show you kind of what it would look like. It would look like this.
Just drag all the way to.
I have several artboards. It would look kind of like this. And here you can see I apply this to the shadow of the objects
That's
too.
really good.
It looks cool because it has a gradient. As
I
if
want to
the
feel
shadow.
what it feels like with the textures.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a soft textures.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I also applied to this hand lettering here on the top, and I applied as one object.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, you know,
So you copy the whole thing, united
with Pathfinder, and then did the effect. So that I don't need to apply to each individual object.
Yeah, that'd be too much.
Because then if you want to, you know, change the color, it could be a little bit annoying. Anyway, this is just how I work, and you can barely see here because it's off-white, but if your off-white was less bright,
Yeah.
it would show more, but I don't think it's a problem. I actually loves how it works with any color pretty much.
I'm gonna use that sometime. Off-white.
Yeah, okay, so let's say I like, you know, checking background. I did the background color that I think would look good with this, just to see if it's really contrasty. It's just an experimentation. But actually I want to use a picture, and I don't know if I want to, you know, remove the background of the picture or anything like that. So it's good to kind of have a preview of what colors look good, because if you don't do that, you might find out that, oh, this is, you know, I have a photo of you in black, and then I did something in black. Oh, now I need to add a border to it.
Like am I blending too much that you can't see the difference?
Yeah, exactly. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag all this stuff to Adobe Express, and then we're gonna try to do a fun animation with it.
Yay!
All right.
Express.
Yeah, Express is pretty cool, and it's
It's
new
really
for
fun.
it's pretty new for me. I mean, it's what, like 1.5 years old, something
It's
like
been
that.
there for a while, but
Yeah.
it keeps changing every year, so it's
but,
different.
like,
Yeah.
We're just learning all the capabilities that it has right now, and then they're adding more. So it's really fun. I'm excited to play with animation. So the first thing that you do is this is actually already grouped, so let me ungroup. So you're gonna group everything that you want to be together as one object, and then send it to Express.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So let me just go to Express. So this is the Express homepage. If you go to new.express.adobe.com, this is what you see. And here on the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just showing me my recent files that I've worked on because I've been using it, trying to learn it a little bit more. And then it also has some options for you to start if you don't know how to start. So for example, you can do Instagram skirt post, a logo, flyer, presentation, wow, a web page. That's pretty cool.
They have a lot of different template and like different things you can pick from.
Yeah, if you
which I
scroll,
love.
you can see all the templates or most of them. And I already know that I want to do this for social media, and it's video, so it got to be Instagram Reels. And I think I saw it here. So Instagram Reels are already here, so I just click, and it's going to open this page. And here to the left, we have many options of templates that I can use. It's just suggestions. It's here to help you throughout. And under here you can see a timeline.
The dog one's like distracting me.
Sorry, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just so cute. I was like, it also
Yeah.
had Boo on the top. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny because it's kind of similar to something that I'm gonna create. So
so cute.
yeah, I swear I did not see this before.
No.
So here you have a timeline,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a space to add audio as well. So let's go back to Illustrator and start importing these assets.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna select it all. Make sure it's all selected.
Yeah, because on Photoshop, I flatter my layer. I could also group it, but I found it's just easier for me to like make that as one layer. So I guess for Illustrator, you just like make sure you group everything together.
Yeah, I'm just hitting Command G to group, and then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna hit. Wait, I didn't copy. And then I'm gonna do Command C to copy,
See.
and then Command V to paste.
Nice.
Did I get my star? Yes. So it's right here, and it kind of helps you align things. But if you need more help, you can go up here, align. It's already centered.
Good job.
Yeah, and then we can do our spider. Let's do Command G, and then Command C, Command V. And the thing with this spider that I think is worth mentioning is that I want this spider to have some animation. So I make the thread for, where it's coming from a little bit longer than what I would need. So it's going off the page because I want to, experiment with it, jumping or something like that.
Think different animation, you might need the extra parts.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
works, yeah.
So it's really good if you never done this before to just come here and play with animations before creating anything that's illustrated. And then looking at the animations, it can kind of give you an idea of what you can create. I think it's a good way to get ideas.
Yeah.
Just looking at the animations.
Like testing out, figure out like, oh, this animation works well. Maybe I can
Yeah.
do like detail animation later on different programs.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
After
like-
Effects and something.
Yeah, I saw an animation that was something like jumping, and I was like, this would be perfect for a spider.
For spider, yeah, drop down, jumping, bouncing.
Yeah,
all type
exactly,
of loop,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put the spider below the text, and you just drag and drop. So this is your layers panel. It's very similar to Adobe Illustrator, but it's simpler. Simpler isn't easier. And it's like that on purpose. So I really like it.
User friendly.
User friendly. That's a good word to define it. So here I want to animate the flames. I want the flames to do something because fire does not stay static.
Yeah.
But I don't want to move the candle, the body of the candle or anything else. So how would I go about it to import it separately if I need to do a group and everything's kind of together here? My layers are definitely not organized in here. Let's be realistic. So
I don't need to know that.
I don't know. You don't want to see
We'll
that.
keep it a secret.
So what I would do is I would select everything that's on top. Let me do it again. And then I'll do Command G to group it, and then I'm gonna cut it. Command C. And now I can kind of group everything else. Oh, I picked the star. And then I can do Command G for this group. So now when I put the flames back, Command Shift V, pasting them in place, I have two groups.
Yeah, the flame and the candle.
Yeah, but I didn't need to move anything or mess with my layers because there is honestly too many things going on in
Oh
here.
yeah, it's like 500 layers in there that I don't want to
Yeah,
touch.
yeah, right? So I'm gonna select this one and I'm gonna do Command C, Command V. Hope it works. It worked.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do the same for the flames. This is a really cool method if you're, just experimenting,
Yeah.
because you can go back to Illustrator and alter things and then just,
Then bring it back
paste
and forth.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to like save it and open the folder.
I wonder if it works on Photoshop.
It should.
I'll try it while you figure that.
Okay. Okay. And I'm just gonna increase it right here.
Let me try.
Cool. Let's do a star. Let's do a star. Let's do just one. just make it small. Trying to get things out of the middle, but we might be able to move them around. Okay, so this is what we see, and we need to put our photo, and I could go to media, your photos, to find a photo from here. All these photos are from, Adobe Stock. You can also generate an image using AI.
I love that feature. It's just like everything's there, and you just like, I'm looking for something. I don't have to like jump around. Just like go in here, search for like what I need.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I am gonna select the photo that I already pre-approved.
Yeah, you already made.
So let's see how I can do that. I think I might need to. Oh, there we go. So this is the photo I chose, and if you're doing this to with your own photos, you can just drag and drop your own photos there, or you can use that button that was there.
Cute puppy.
Yeah. So this is the puppy that I chose.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I guess I have to say I'm a dog person because I have a dog.
Oh, what kind of dog?
It's a Saint Bernard.
Oh, they're big, right?
There can be huge, but ours is a female and she's not really big.
Okay.
I mean, she's bigger than most dogs you've seen, but she's not as big as it could be.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking of, using a photo of her in this outfit, but I didn't have time to make a costume.
Aw.
Sorry, Indy, maybe next year.
Do it tomorrow.
It's
still Halloween week.
Yeah, she would not stay still. Yeah, she would not stay still. This dog actually looks a lot like my sister's dog, and maybe that's why I chose it.
Yeah, or just Photoshop this dog's face too in his face.
Yeah, it was gonna look quite different. Okay, so let's say this is my photo that I'm gonna use. This dog is in the costume. It works. It's Halloween themed. And you can see how the white of the costume works really well with the orange of the flames that are on top of it. So in terms of creating a composition, this really works. If it was a different color here for this costume, you might have, to change a few things to make it.
You don't want it to blend in together. You want to be able to see your design.
Yeah. I want everything to be seen.
Nice.
And it helps that it's kind of a simple costume too, a ghost. Let me put towards the end. Here's my spider. Can I adjust it? Oops. Right. So this is beautiful. Let's start animating it. I kind of like how this looks like it's on the floor in front of the dog. Yeah. So that's why it's cool to see what you can do if you already know the image you're going to be working with. So you can kind of see that it kind of looks like the candles are on the floor in front of the dog. Okay, so how do we go about animating this? I think the first thing I want to animate is the hand lettering.
Boom.
Yeah, I actually copied it without the texture, but that's fine. So I'm going to select it, and you can see that this thing popped up here with some options that you can, take. This like advice, you can do this, you can remove an object, you can insert object, but that does not apply. I want animations right here on the bottom. And you can do in animation, loop animation, or out animation. And they are different from each other, so really go through these.
Yeah, because I think it's like the beginning of the animation, end of the animation, or like loop forever, or you can also apply like all three, I think. You can do at least two.
I think you can do three. I think you can do an in, a loop, and an out.
Oh yeah, I think you can do it's pretty fun.
Yeah. I don't know if you can do two loops. That was two loops.
I think one per each.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe if you have a different scene, because you can also add a new scene here.
Duplicate layers too.
You can add new scene, you can add new pages. But this is perfect for social media because, social media, things are not usually very long. You gotta really catch the attention of your audience as fast as you can.
Short format, yeah.
Yeah. So let's do an animation, and let's see what these do. If you hover, it's gonna give you a preview. Bungie looks good with everything. Drift, drop, rise, slide,
nice,
spin, tumble. I want something that's kind of silly, like this dog. It's spooky, but it's not supposed to be super scary. So
It's cute. Well, you have a little cutie with the ghost outfit. It's really hard for him to be a little
scary.
It's
Yeah,
so cute.
I think I like the thumb bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's silly. And if you click here, you can adjust the duration, make it slower,
Different
adjust
thing,
the
yeah.
rotation. So you have a lot of control over this. The direction,
Change a different thing. Yeah.
yeah, you can make it fade or not. You can even do it start outside of the page. I think I want it like that.
We have someone, Kitso, watching from South Africa. That's so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
What
thanks
time
for
is
being
it
here.
there?
I only know it's sunny. I don't know what time is it. So I guess it's daytime.
I don't know, but it's so cool. It's far away though.
Yeah.
Let's animate and let's do a loop as well.
Yes.
So
The ghost.
can do a yo-yo, a wiggle. Yeah, I
Oh,
kind of.
Leviosa.
Oh, there we go. This
There
is
you
a
go, yeah.
Leviosa spell. I'm gonna leave this one.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like. Oh, this is perfect.
That's
this
perfect,
is really
yeah.
cool. I'm not even gonna change anything. I
keep
really
it,
love
yeah.
it. I don't want it to come out of the screen. I want it to stay, so I'm not gonna add an out animation.
Mhm.
Next thing, I want to animate the spider.
Perfect. Keys was just asking, will the spider be dangling too? And you're working on it right now.
Yes, let's do it.
Spider.
And so this was what I saw that I thought could really work, the bungee.
Yeah, like dropping. Are
And
you
you-
scared of spider?
A little bit.
I'm
Depends
not.
on the size of the spider.
I'm not. No, I'm totally scared of it.
I'm more scared of roaches.
oh yeah, that's really scary.
That's super creepy.
Yeah, we're not using that for our design.
No. You can even make it bounce more,
Or bounce last more.
fast.
Yeah.
the duration. And
Ooh, it's like a coming down.
yeah, I really love the elasticity.
Yeah.
This is really cool. You can make it do like that from a different direction. You can do from the sides. Kind of looks like it's doing this.
Oh, I wonder if they have that animation added, like swing left and right. I don't think they have it.
I think it's
Kind of.
almost this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
you would
not-
have to have an anchor
yeah, like
point
an
to the
anchor point.
top.
That'd be cool to
yeah.
have like an anchor point for your animation.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna come really soon because
Yeah,
they're always
hopefully.
updating.
Now, anything we say here, they will hear it and then they will like add it. They're like working overnight.
points.
Yeah, no, it's like, please, we
point.
need this feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here you can even start outside of the page. Oh, this is not what I want. I want to come down. There we go.
Yeah.
Do I want it to fade? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. And then let's do a loop. I wanted to keep, going up and down. So let's see what yo-yo does. This is perfect.
Perfect.
Let's see how I can adjust this in less intensity. Yeah,
so
it's-
far.
I gotta do some adjustment. So you see when it's coming in, I can see that my line kind of ends there. So let me adjust the starting position.
Move them a little bit higher.
Yeah, and let's go back to in and adjust the bungee. I don't know if making more bounces. make
Oh,
it
I think
bounce
it's the
more. The duration.
duration, maybe?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
No,
Oh, must be so is that the loop part maybe?
it could be. Let's start over here.
Let's make it higher.
Okay, now it kind of works. Come on.
I think it's because the loop, that's like the up and down part, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it might be this.
Yeah.
I want to,
Intensity
yeah, maybe it's too
lowering? Yeah.
intense.
There you go.
There we go. Pretty cool.
Boo.
Cool. This is
Oh, it'd be
working
cool if we
really
wear, like,
well.
a Ghostbuster outfit.
Let's do the flames.
Yeah.
And
Oh
what-
yeah, the flame.
The flames, I wanted to have some transparency. So you can change that here in blend mode. You can go to multiply. You can change the, get less opacity. And you can kind of see that I put some dots under.
Nice.
So it kind of,
The
core
fire
of,
point, yeah. With the fire star, the brightest part.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I got you.
Thank you. So an animation, you can do a loop. I don't want it to come in. It's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to make it flicker.
Flicker would be great. Yeah, and then
Or
you can
blinking.
adjust the
Let's see.
intensity of it. Maybe make it faster blink. Not too fast. Probably maybe blinking might works better. I wonder if you can
Let's
do
try
like an
blinking.
in and out fade on that too.
No, I think I like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the flicker.
The flicker, yeah.
Let's do faster, and let's do not so intense.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's more like a subtle animation
Such a cute design.
because we already have two other things that are really in your face.
Right.
Also, something you can do is do animation
yeah,
to
little
the
sparks.
stars.
Yeah.
So, for the start, I was thinking of spinning.
Mm-hmm.
They can also float really well.
Oh, can you do both?
I don't know. I tried, but I don't think you can yet.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But this is really good. Here you can change the personality of the animation. This is great. When I
yeah.
saw
always
this, I was
forgot
cracking
about
up.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
What
do
do we have
smooth.
on there? Smooth and
Just
what's
wait,
a-
and then you can see. You can do energetic.
Nah,
It kinda changes. Yeah,
I was
it's
about to
not
say,
always the
doesn't feel
same.
that energetic. I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden it spin out faster.
Yeah, you can do loud, but also it's about the intensity, so you can see.
Oh, that's kind of cute. Say left and right, spin.
Yeah, you can change the direction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it loud. I kind of want it to be just
Subtle, like
yeah,
it's
subtle.
smooth there on the background. It's hiding there. Just hang
Okay.
out with the dog.
And a good thing you can do with elements like that you need many of them
Yeah.
is you can just duplicate it. And it's already going to have your animation applied to it.
Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
you don't need to do it again.
That's great, actually.
And if you're like, oh, I need to be a different color, I don't want them all to be the same, you can apply an effect. And here you have several options to do different colors.
Mm-hmm.
You can I think you can pick from your drawing. Let me see. See, and if I put this on top of it, it's the same color, so it works. So you can have, you can alter the colors of the elements here. You don't need to put it back. Go back to Illustrator and then bring it back. And let's say that I don't want them to, turn in the same speed or at the same time. One thing you can do is select the object and go here, show layer timing. And then you're going to see a timeline specifically for that object.
Mm-hmm. The one you
So-
select, yeah.
Yeah, so if you drag it, this is when this object is going to appear.
Appear.
Yeah. And therefore the animation is going to be a little bit different because of that. So you see how you appear different?
Yeah. So the timing will be different, the animation key.
Yeah, I think the timing was the same for this one.
Oh, interesting.
But for other things, I think it can differ. Let's change the intensity to like 8. I think that's going to make it. Yeah, this one's doing a little bit faster.
I think they're like rotating the same speed with everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
The animation itself is like not so much difference the way it spins.
Yeah, but let's say that I want things to start at different times. So here this is a good thing to know. So if you go here and your cursor, put your cursor here, and then just drag it, you can see your animation really slowly. So you can spot things that are not working out. And then you can, adjust them as you need. So one thing that I noticed, that's everything's kind of happening at the same time. I kind of want my spider to come in a little bit later. So I'm going to click on the spider and then make the spider come later so that you're not overwhelmed in the beginning. Let's see what's going to look like. Yeah, so it's coming a little
I'm
bit
just
later.
adding my own sound effect.
Oh, cool. Do you want to play with sound effects?
We could, yeah. Well,
Do
you
you
have
have
the
time?
audio, right? Yeah, we have
Yeah.
8 more minutes.
Okay, so let's
Yeah,
add
let's
an
add some
audio.
music, yeah.
Just click here on this, or you can go to Media, Audio. And this is really cool. You can upload an audio. You can record right here. I didn't know that too.
Oh
A few months
yeah.
ago. This is really cool. Yeah, if you have talent with that, you can record your own audio.
Bow, wow.
That was excellent.
No,
Not
I
for
don't know
this
how
though.
to do it. Not for that.
But I'm
Okay.
gonna search an audio. I'm gonna do Halloween,
I'd be like, woo.
and we gotta put this
The
so we can
headphone,
hear.
yeah.
But
Is
I
it-
think people
it's
can
on?
hear it.
I think they can hear it.
I look funny. So let's see what we have here.
I'm like,
Yeah. So these are all the results that it gave me. Let's click on one.
oh yeah, I can hear you. Oh, that sounds so cool.
It's kinda too creepy.
I
It's
kind of
kinda
like it.
You like it? Let's try it. Let's see another one.
It's just like the contrast is so strong with the little dog, but it's like super
Yeah.
scary. I feel like I'm like actually like conducting the music.
That's too scary. This is fun.
It's cute. Yeah,
This
this
is
one.
cool.
Like
So
a
which one do I
Scooby-Doo.
use?
Either the first one or this one. Try something.
I think this one's more the vibe.
Yeah,
more
let's go with
silly.
the vibe. It's more silly and cute.
Yeah. Okay, so let's click it. And then you're gonna have it applied.
When you say record my sound effect, that's not gonna work.
Record your sound effect. Okay, so here when you click on it, you can select fade in, fade out, or if you want both, go to in and out. And you can even adjust the volume. Like if you don't want it to be too loud.
Too loud. Yeah, you want it to be smooth and subtle in the background.
Yeah, because sometimes sound on social media just makes me angry if it's, too in your face. So I'm gonna either fade in and out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring the volume down a little bit. Let's see. This is pretty cool. I can even make it longer if you just drag it, and the audio is gonna come with.
Oh.
Cool. Should we add another audio?
Yeah, let's do a little bouncing noise maybe, or for dog or the spiders, or
Dog.
the campfire sound, or
I was thinking of
ghost. Boo. Or it'd be you like boo.
boo. Boo. It's so silly.
Yeah.
I was thinking of some wolf sounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I like that. So can you add multiple soundtrack onto this too?
You can.
I like the wolf sound. It's perfect. Oh, maybe not so angry.
Nah, not that one. This is cool. Let's click on
Perfect.
this
Yeah.
one. Okay. So you can adjust the volume again. You can add it in or out. Let me do. Oh, it's not working. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let me give me some time there.
Is it because it's too short?
No, I don't think so. Let's play it again.
I'm all the way on the back.
Oh, this.
Oh, yeah.
This never happened before. So
Weird.
I wonder if I could delete this.
I think if you select it, right? Or you can zoom in with the button, right? We're kind of blocking the timeline, so I don't know if you guys can see what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't know
There you
what's
go,
doing
window.
that. What if I click delete? Yeah, let's try again.
Let's try it again. Let's add a different one, maybe. Or move your time lapse to the middle and then add it so it doesn't cut
Okay.
off. Let's try that. Hopefully that will work.
Okay, it's here now.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
interesting. Yeah, no, it works perfect.
Yeah, it was just a little bug.
This is so cute. We're just bobbing like that.
Yeah, let's do the howling a little bit after. And let's have also a fade in and out. This is so fun.
So spooky.
You know what you can do? You can record your dog doing this. And then this is gonna be your dog's house.
We don't have the dog here. What do we do?
We don't have a dog here.
You
Oh,
can do
dang.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a dog here, but another thing that you can do to make this animation a little bit more vivid is
Yeah.
you can duplicate the spider.
Oh.
And you can make a brand new
smaller,
spider
Yeah.
that's just gonna do the same thing but in a different way, and it's gonna look like it's a different one. So
Nice.
let's click here to do a flip. So now it's facing the other way. Let's change the size to make it smaller. I can even change the color so it's not too similar.
Yeah.
Have a blue. Remember, you can color pick from your illustration, but I'm not gonna do that.
Hey, it's easy to do here.
It's so easy. Yeah, let's do this one. This one's different, but not too much. It's very subtle. And let's say that it's right here. So if I bring my cursor to the front, you're gonna see that the animation's already applied. But I want this spider to come after this one, so I can, you know. Oh, this is not the right one, is it? Okay, just select the object and then you can
put it earlier.
I think I'm gonna put later. So there is always something happening. It's not like the same thing. Let's see. That's pretty cool. And now you can see the bouncing is different.
Yeah, it's like different animation, design.
Yeah, they're
and it's
bouncing.
Like more balanced too.
They're
with
bouncing.
Like different side.
They're bouncing at a different pace, because bouncing is really, you know, up to the pace of it.
Yeah.
You can even like add another one if you want.
Ooh, 3 spiders.
You can see.
I love the left and right and off.
Yeah,
offset too. It's
yeah,
really good.
it's pretty cool. I really love it. Do you have more?
That soundtrack is stuck in my head.
It's too adorable.
It's
it
very cute.
goes
Yeah.
perfectly with this puppy. Do we have time to add another spider?
We have 30 seconds.
Did you say 30 seconds?
Yeah, this is about 50.
Okay.
How
then
fast do you want to work? You know, I've
Yeah.
done stuff like that. Like, give me 20 seconds, I'll make something really fast.
I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And once you're happy with your animation, you can just hit download. It's gonna already tell you the best format for a video, or if you want to have it as image and print it and have it in your house. You know, my puppy's first Halloween, or if it's for birthday or Christmas.
That's true.
You can have, you know, family's first Christmas or something like that. I don't know. You decide what you put in there. But it's really cool to already have this here, and you can also have it, you know, with
Yeah, I think
less
that's
resolution
the time
and
we
more.
have.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
So thanks you guys for watching this part, like design your ghostly and animated. Tell us where we can find you on Instagram or
Instagram, Behance, or my own website. Just go to micktflior.com. All my socials are there.
Nice. And stay tuned. Next we have the Graveyard Smash Party invite with Val, and you're hosting her, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for being here, guys, and then we'll see you in 5 minutes.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
You can illustrate something and then make an interesting little animated reel for your Instagram. I have my Photoshop open, and for this step, like just blocking in shapes, I will use my selection tools and grab us some like grayscale and transform that and put that into place. I am going to create a new layer with just Control-Shift-N, and I'm gonna turn that to a clipping mask, and I'm gonna make sure I'm on like a soft round brush. I'm gonna set the brush mode, not the blending mode, but the brush mode to dissolve. Putting it onto a soft round brush or anything that's like very feathered like that, you can actually use the dissolve brush mode to create like kind of a noisy blend brush, which I absolutely love. I love darken so much because I feel like it adds just the right amount of like sinister color. We're gonna kind of twist Merry Christmas into a spooky creepmas. I think the Mystery Machine has like these like strange flower designs, right? We can put some like purple vibes in it. Let's zoom in here and start to make this look a little bit more like a material. Using dissolve on brushes that are textured, like this like kind of charcoaly Aran brush, it is actually pretty darn cool. So I'm gonna grab my brush, I'm gonna turn my dissolve on here, and I'm just gonna scoop down. And I'm using kind of a subdued yellowy color because we're going to throw it on a blend mode. I think overlay will probably work, and I'm going to Control U to open hue and saturation. I also want to put a spot of light here.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to turn this into a smart object. And all I did here was double tap that icon to open what I converted to a smart object. And I've just hidden that. And so now I can hit Control S to save and then close that. And when I come over here, it is now without its flowers. I'm going to sketch with like a dark purple.
That's looking pretty good.
Let's put just a tiny bit of texture in here. I think this is cool. Let's do one spot of light. And I'm gonna open my libraries and I'm gonna throw this little guy right in there. So we have these, and maybe one drops right here. We're gonna do a cool little animation. Let's go ahead and flip this one. I want it to drop in front, so let's reorganize our layers. I think I can change the background color to like let's do like a custom. I'm gonna do animation real quick. Honestly, drop is perfect, but I want it to, let's do bungee. You can select a loop. I think Bob probably is gonna be it. So I'm going to show layer timing. So the first one comes in at the very beginning of our video. The second one, I'm gonna bump this just
So that way they
few.
come in a little separately.
So we can do like fog, and let's throw like a duotone onto it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That looks pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. And then I would just have like some text fly down. Scary creep mess. That's kind of cute.
That's pretty.
You know, that's kind of cute.
Kind of fits.
Yeah. Another thing that's cool is the dynamic lockup. It'll create a cool lockup for you. And let's center that. I'm going to turn that to an orange color. You really can build a legitimate scene with this, and you can make some really, really fun custom animations and reels for your social media this way.
Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for all your comments, and thank you for sharing all of your wonderful skills and knowledge and passion for all things creepy.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
take care, everyone.
Hello, everybody. We're back. This is the last live of the Halloween special, and I am your host, Mickt Flior. I'm back here with Val,
Hi.
and she created a beautiful illustration earlier. And now, what are we gonna do, Val?
Well, today we're going to take everything. Earlier was the Monster Mash stream.
Monster Mash.
Now is the Graveyard Smash, and we are going to take a lot of the stuff that we worked on in the previous show and kind of make like an event kind of invitation, animation, and stuff with it in Adobe Express. So
Right.
we can pop over just so I can show. This is a mess. Some of you were here for a lot of the stream before, where we kind of went through and started making these pumpkins with different mouths and things that were included. And I just have all of them kind of like grouped together and just laying over top of each other because we are going to save, which I have kind of already done. I've saved this file. And then I can come into Adobe Express, just new.express.adobe.com, and I can say upload my own content or start from your content, and then I can actually click upload, which I've already done so that we don't have to wait for it to upload. So now I have this big old wonky file, and I think the first thing we're going to do, honestly, is we're going to clean this up just a little bit because we've got a lot to organize. Like our little pumpkin guy is looking adorable and perfect, but we also have all of these other things where they're ungrouped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the things that are not grouped, and I'm going to start like grouping them together essentially. So
Oh, that's so cool. You can group them there.
yeah, so if I select it properly, then I think we can do it. I just have to like try to get a handle on it. So let me see if I can just
Yeah, it's so cool. You discover a new thing every day. I did not know that you could do that in Express. Like
Yeah,
if you
if
forget
you-
to group before importing.
The only thing with it that I will say is kind of difficult. This is just a sketch. We're going to get rid of that one. The only thing that I would say is that like you have to be able to select them individually in order. And if something's on top of it, you can't really select it. So it does get a little bit tedious. So like I can select the eyes, and then I can also, if I hold shift, I can also select the mouth, and I can also select the line art. So I've got all of these selected, so I can say group, but I will have to kind of select the green, the stem and stuff separately because it's all
So if it's something really complicated, maybe it would be easier to do it in your other program?
Yeah,
Would you
I
recommend
would
that?
say so. In fact, I didn't even really realize that I had separated them so much. So now I'm kind
That's
of
okay.
left to do it.
It's
but
really cool because now we can see that you can, you can do that here.
yeah,
Yeah, I love how they imported the ability to do this here.
I think what I might do is put all of the line art together because I think that's what's going to be best.
Are you
Eyes,
gonna
mouth.
animate them individually, maybe?
Yeah, I might.
Okay.
It's possible. I think that would end up looking pretty cool if I could manage it. I think that's everything. And I'm going to move the line art. So now the line art's all in one group. I'm going to move the line art, and I'm going to select this and group that. And then I'm going to move the line art back over top if I can snag it. Yeah, there we go. Can I grab... No, I don't want to enlarge it. There we go. Okay. And we're going to move that just right back over top so that it's all
People
together.
are wondering if you secretly added a cat.
I did secretly add a cat. There is a cat. Okay, now it's all together.
The family grew.
Phew. So the little cat baby is right back here. And he was there. He was sort of there all along. It's just that he was kind of hiding behind some other things. So we have our green pumpkin. We're going to put him up here. We have our sweet, tiny baby pumpkin. We are going to very quickly group this. And this will be much, much easier to group together.
This is a ghostly pumpkin.
Yes. And I think I see that we have 2 of these. And I don't know why we have 2 of these, so I'm gonna delete one. That might just be sometimes when you import files, sometimes there's a little interesting strangeness with them. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I try to do, just copy and paste my individual objects. I transform in a group, and then when it comes to Express, it's already one thing. It's not a group anymore.
Yeah.
So it just makes it easier for me to move them around.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just experimenting with things, this is a good method because you can pull things from different files that you might have open. But if you have, everything in one file, it's really cool that you can import it this way.
Yeah, I agree.
And if, this happens, no, there is a different way too.
I think
You can always copy and paste as well.
I think what I'm gonna do is I already have all 4 of these separated out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take.
Maybe you can remove some of them and we just work with the main pumpkins.
Yeah, I
Something
think
like that?
I think I can actually get away with I made some extra pages, and I'm wondering if I can do Control Cut. Would cut be? Can I cut here? I wonder.
I would
Copy.
hope.
I'm gonna say copy, and I'm gonna go to pages. Uh-oh. Okay. So then these are all over here.
Awesome.
And this is just going to be the one where we focus on our little guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I'm going to delete them from the other one. So then we just have these little guys here, and we can work on a piece with them because they're fabulous and they are the little family. And then I can remove them from over here so that it's not cluttered because I'm decluttering this. And to be honest, I kind of do this whenever I'm working because
It's like a process file, right?
Yeah.
It's a working file. I think that's what we call it. It's a working file, so
100%.
it doesn't have to be
Doesn't have to be
all the time.
perfect.
Yeah, because
You know?
the whole point is to experiment. That's one of the main things in the creative process.
Okay, I have my guys, all three of them. This is them, like...
They go so well together.
They're so cute, aren't they? Because I used the same... What I did was I drew, like, a shape, like a base shape, and then I just drew little characters around.
Oh, you changed the shape a little bit.
Yeah, to
That's
make
a
it so
great
that they would
way.
overlap. Because then I figured, like, if I made the different mouths and the different eyes and stuff, and they all sort of interconnected, then all I would have to do is make the head the same shape every time, and the eyes are the exact same shape every time. I just added more around them. And as long as those things were true, then it doesn't matter if you take the eyes from the ghost and put it on the pumpkin, or the mouth from the mummy and put it on the cat, and vice versa. It'll all fit together, and be interchangeable because the base shape and everything was the same.
Yeah, it looks coherent as a group of things that belong together as well. So if you're making like a pack of, I don't know, stickers or a pack of whatever that you want, everything kind of look like each other.
Yeah.
That's a great way.
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I wanna be animating a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna delete all of this. My goal is to have my head shapes, right? And then animate the different facial features to like swap, like change.
Oh.
So we can do like a little tile, almost like a Andy Warhol
so that's
kind of
what
thing.
you were thinking of doing.
So that's why some of these, like, it seems very messy, and it seems like, oh my gosh, why is all this stuff in here? But I did want a bunch of them to be all together, because then we can have like that's another reason why the little loopy part for this is separate. Yeah. So for now, I'm gonna delete the background because I don't really need the background for right now. And I'm gonna make these things smaller. And now we are going to unravel this puzzle. But I think it's gonna be fun. So there's the little pumpkin spot. This is the little ghost ectoplasm. And I think they're the only ones that have something on top. These are pumpkin eyes. These are pumpkin body shape. Ghost. So there's a couple of different things that we could do here. We could do like one where they're all swapping, right? We could also do, I thought it would be neat to have it like stretched out like this and then have it animate to like scrunch together if it was like a Instagram reel like size. So we could do, in fact, we can set that one up because that one will be a lot more obvious. Let's put this right here. Let's come in, I'm gonna add another little deal here. We'll come back to our, this is our ingredients page. That's what this is. And I'm doing Control or Command C just to copy. And we're gonna come over here, let's resize this and do Instagram Reel. Resize.
It's so easy that you can just resize when the thing
just
is already created, but you're like, you know what, that's not the right size I want. You just go there and it changes to the size that you want.
So useful because sometimes...
And with the click, there's no inputting numbers.
Sometimes I don't know what I want too. Sometimes I'm like, I think I know what I want, but I really don't. So it would be really cool if we have like all these little things, right? And then we could do, gosh, I would say it would be neat if I could have them like all smushed down into, I don't know if that'll work, but we could sure try to see.
You can have them kind of levitating towards it, or do you want it to be quick?
And that, like, if it was all sucked together, then I could have text come up and be like, create your monster today, or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Let's
we
see
can
what's
come
possible.
in and see, like,
Yeah, you might have freedom to do that using the controls to edit each animation.
I really like the Animate All stuff. And honestly, we could do, like, the popping and have it all pop in. But I don't know if that would do really what I want. Maybe waterfall? Let me see. It's gonna all go to this one spot. So let's do...
It's pretty cool though.
Let's drag them into place and see if I can waterfall them down onto
Go out of place.
Yeah, like from out of place to in place. So we'll put like his little thing on. Very cute. Looks like it's supposed to look
Super.
because it fits in place. Okay. Okay, and I'll just kind of like, you know, goes down. And I feel like if you guys have been here when I've done animation in the past, I feel like I would have spent so much time animating each individual little thing. Like, now you go down, now you go down. But with
Yeah, that's
Animate
the
All,
thing.
I can just be like, please make it what I need. I almost kind of want I don't know if the order in my layers matters, but we can experiment.
Yeah, so the shape is coming after, and it is the thing that's on top.
Yeah, so maybe it needs to be on the bottom. Let's see if they order.
Nope.
Not really. Maybe because it's the biggest thing, so. That's fine. That's fine with me. If it all animates like that, maybe
Yeah, it
that's
still
fine.
gives the idea of creating your own thing, putting the pieces together.
Yeah, and then I was thinking that, like, I have some of the painted versions of these, but it would be really cool if we found, like, some paint splats just to put behind that would, like, effectively color it in. We can also, I think we can mess with the brush stuff, too, though, so there's a lot of stuff that we can do.
Okay. I'm excited to see that.
I haven't, the brush, I actually, surprisingly, I haven't used it, but I'm willing to try it for the first time on Adobe Live, because that's sometimes where the best ideas come from. Okay, we have that concept down, and I think that that's cool. These ones, I want these to kind of bounce in, and I might just have, like, our little guy here, and then have them literally, like, bounce in from the edges. So I think this one is going to go a little something like this. Let's animate all. What is bloom?
It's like a
Maybe?
slow fade.
You know, all of it is grouped, and I'm wondering if I wish we could. Yeah, because
That
it's
was
all
kinda
pieces,
cool.
but that maybe it is neat because they're all grouped stuff. So this is the only
Really
one
interesting.
that's not like different pieces in here, and I think that's why it's animating interesting like that. But it might not be a bad move if we find a gesture that looks really cool with it. So let's see. Animate multiple. Let's
Can you
do.
make it pop?
Oh, okay, I
That's
like that.
cool.
That was neat. That was really, really neat.
That was it.
Yeah, I think that was it. Okay.
Yeah, especially what it's for, for creating your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay, so we're gonna. Oops. I want to make sure everything.
That's
in this
why
group.
just mess with stuff, just experiment.
You
You're
got to.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no reason, not knowing what you want to do, just try. You might find something that's really cool and works for your workflow.
I think that if you allow yourself a little room to experiment and not to be too like tethered to things being just so, you end up like not only like discovering new things, but like changing up your process for the better sometimes. Like I've saved so much time and changed the entirety of how I work just by accidentally stumbling upon something that was neat one day
Yes,
because I
absolutely.
wasn't worried about not making it a certain way.
Yeah,
I kind of like
or
this
too
line.
perfect.
If I put text over here, there's like a little place to put like Halloween text in the corner. I'm like showing
I think
you
it
here
works.
when it's up there for everybody.
I think it works.
Okay. I think that'll work.
Yeah.
So. That's
yeah,
cool.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. Okay, that one's perfect. So that's actually going to be in our number one place. Right here, I'm going to move this because that's the one that I really like the most. I definitely want to do one with this. This is like our Andy Warhol Sweet Spooky Babies poster. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And I think what I want to do is to actually do like kind of a checkerboard sort of thing, and then have like paint splats behind them that change colors. So we could choose like one color for the mummy, one color for the pumpkin, and one color for the cat, and then it'll just kind of like alternate and stuff. So we've got stuff moving in the background, and we can put text on it if we want to.
Okay. How are you gonna be able to like change the specific colors that you can choose?
Yeah, I think
You're able to choose the colors.
I'm wondering if we ought to make it a poster kind of thing, like a flyer, like an animated flyer kind of.
Could be.
Because then we can have them.
You could have the text in the middle.
Yeah, and then the text even could. Do they do rotating text? Can we do rotating text? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Also, folks in chat, if you guys have an idea for cool gestures that we could do with this poster, I am willing to change stuff in the project on the fly. So if you've got any ideas about how, like, what kind of gestures to do, how to implement the animation, let me know in the chat, please. Okay, let's do like a background color that is like paper. You know, I feel like
off-white.
Yeah, like a, and then we can do like, I'm thinking if I go to elements and design elements, can I do this? We can go to design assets, and we should be able to find something that's like an overlay, like yeah, like texture overlays.
Oh yeah, definitely. There is so much in terms of texture over there.
Something grungy so that it look. Oh, you know what?
It might even be similar size.
Yeah.
Oh, it's giving me spooky already.
If I can.
Could you distort it?
Yeah, can I distort it? That's one thing about like transforming stuff is I'm just like, can I? We're gonna find out. Oh, maybe, sort of, kind of. Honestly, that's good enough because I can put this down here, and we can put like a filter over it, like an effects filter.
It's giving me like a haunted.
Yeah, like kind of a
vibe.
Creepy, which I mean, perfect for this vibe, right?
Old mansion. Old haunted mansion.
Yes, yes. I think that's cool. It doesn't distract too much. I almost wonder if we should put it on a multiply layer though. Or screen. No, not screen. We're gonna do normal. I think I just don't want it as dark as this. So let's go back to effects and let's do custom.
All right.
So our shadows. Hello. There we go. I'm pressing. It's me. I'm the problem. It was me.
Sometimes you just expect things to work like, you know, you saw somewhere else and it might not be it.
And I think that's what it's like when you're, you know, using so many different Adobe apps is sometimes you're pressing the button from the other thing. And then you're like,
God.
oh yeah.
This happens so many times, you guys. You have no idea.
It's pretty bad sometimes for me because I'm like,
Same.
did I even ever know how to do any of this in the first place?
Like, why am I pressing these keys? What does he do? I know he does something, but I don't remember what he does.
I think the craziest thing is when somebody's like, what's the short key for blah blah blah, and you're like, and you're like, I have to do it.
Yes.
I have to
I
do
do not
it.
know what anything is called. I know what the position of my fingers is for it.
It's this. That's the shortcut.
That's so funny. It's like muscle memory.
Yeah. Oh, paper. This honestly is probably going to be what we would prefer instead. Subtle paper textures. Let's do wrinkled and folded paper.
Fold is pretty cool.
Yeah, like if we can get like, you know, something like this going. It's like on an overlay.
That is cool. It's very subtle.
And if we can, I almost want it not, if I make it too big, then it's not going to really be, well, that's not that bad. if I put it under here, maybe if I turn the opacity down on it just slightly. What do you guys think? I feel like it's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I like it like crispier.
Yes.
I think what I'm really looking for is something that's like more of a very specific fold, you know, in the paper. Flat and maybe a little more uniform, but, you know, like, honestly, something like that.
And it's
And
divided in 6.
yeah,
Is that
divided.
gonna be
Our page is kind of technically divided into 6.
okay?
And I'm gonna delete that one, and I'm going to,
Oh yeah, because we're putting the text in the middle, right?
yeah. So can I invert those effects? Yeah, I'm gonna invert this with color.
Oh.
So we're gonna go to custom and
Make
we're gonna,
shadows lighter.
you know what? I actually
is
like a bold
cool.
color.
Yeah,
Maybe we leave it bold. Like,
I would always vote for bold.
yeah, let's do bold. We're gonna vote for bold. Okay, and I'm gonna bump it up slightly so we have little equal spots. Okay, and then we're gonna have our little guys in their
What are you
little
gonna-
places.
What are you gonna do?
And then I think that we can get some text going on in the center. And you know what? I'm not even going to worry about what that text says right now. I just want to have something. So we can do add your text, and I'm sure we can find like a Halloween type something here. Maybe spooky. I'm sure I have something spooky. Honestly, how about like a textured black letter? And I'm just gonna say
Sounds cool.
spooks for now.
Spooks.
And we'll just put that right there.
Oh my god, that's a great band name.
It is a good band name. The Spooks.
Even with this font. This one's pretty cool.
And it's like got kind of that grit. If I zoom in, like it's got like
Oh, it's almost as if it's like
tape. Yeah. We're on the same page. We're on the same
like
page.
tape that you folded.
I almost
the hell they
want to
came
see,
with it.
like, should it be black, do you think? Or do you think that it should be, like, that tan color?
Let's try it. Try the
feel
10
like-
and see what you think.
It could be maybe either. And I wonder if I can get in here and... That's not bad.
I like it.
That's not bad.
Are you thinking of the little monsters saying this color?
Yeah, like, but
Yeah.
maybe, honestly, I could probably change it. We'll see. We'll see. I think my bad. I did a Photoshop hotkey for Control T
Just as we mentioned.
transform, and Google's like, new tab, why?
Yeah, you forgot you're on the web.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool, and we can have also like a little
Information about the event.
just a little something.
That's a lot of something.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say yet. But so I'm gonna break this into like letter word sized stuff. And I don't know if anybody else does this. And I don't know if there is lorem ipsum yet in Adobe Express. I don't think so. But that's why I do that is I will just like button mash and then add spaces around where the letters look like they're the size of a word.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
usually
you
just
know.
try to add the text I would have.
Yeah.
Just to write it as if I'm not looking.
Or just something that's like, you know, like there's a placeholder,
Yeah.
you know, you just need something sometimes. What
This is
what
cool.
do you want to rewrite? So rewrite is another new feature where like you write something and you can have it rewrite for you in a better way. So what does it think? Rephrase. Let's lengthen it. Let's make this sound inspirational.
Oh my god.
What do you think? Let's see. In the midst of uncertainty, you have the power to overcome any challenge. I like that. That's.
Just pulled inspirational quotes.
I like how Express was like, "Baby, don't do that. Let me help." You know what, Express? Thank you. And we can replace that later. But you know what? I like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I almost miss
The size is good too.
the black for spooks.
Maybe you can have the smaller text be a different color and then the big one be black.
I wonder if there's an outline though. If I can make the outline black, is that lame?
Like adding you.
That's actually
lame.
not that bad.
I don't think it's lame.
Yeah, I don't think that's lame at all. It's like sometimes adding a stroke to something with a lot of texture can make it messy.
Mm-hmm.
But this, it just looks like grit and it's got that black in it that I like. I'm really liking
this works really well with the theme. It works with the texture that you have below for the page. This is the perfect use for this.
I'm going to say group the text so the text is all together. And now we got to find something to put between the background and our liner because I want there to be like splashes of color that will move so that it will be like coloring it in without coloring it in, if that makes sense. So for example, we can come in and grab, let's go to elements and let's go to, I'm thinking shapes. Is it shapes? No, I don't want like clean shapes though.
You could do some watercolor blobs like that one.
Oh yeah, let's see.
I don't even know if that's what it would be called.
Watercolor blob
Oh, there
comes up. I think that that's honestly pretty good. I might want something more like solid, but still like definitely this.
Like it can have a like a paint blob, like a marker blob. The yellow one.
Marker blob would
This
be
yellow
cool.
one's pretty solid.
Yeah. Let's see. My goal too is to see like sometimes when you get, that's pretty good. Sometimes when you find an element on Express, sometimes it's in a set. There'll be like 3 or 4 other ones that are similar to it. This one would be really cute. Honestly, probably behind the ghost would be cutest because it's like glowy. And then if I put it behind everything, then it's like, you know,
pops
this
up.
little guy, this little scribble of color is visible. So it kind of like colors him in, sorta.
Yeah, and it makes him stand out.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I love this shape.
Okay,
Undefined shape.
I wonder if there's more that are just like that. Like, almost like they were done by the same person at the same time.
That one?
Does that one match?
The purple one, maybe? I don't know.
No, that one's like more solid. This one, you can almost see the orange through it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, there we go.
These ones, I don't think those ones are opaque. I almost want to try the splat. But I'm going to search back here just in case we miss one. Okay, there's our yellow one. If I favorite that. Okay, it's in my favorites.
It would be cool if you could like search similar.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's what I was
that a
hoping
thing?
for. What is this
Maybe
one?
will be soon.
You hear that, Adobe? We want search similar in Express. I wonder what happens if we put this on
Yeah, it's some white.
screen or multiply. See, that looks like it's on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that, but I almost want it to be brighter. Does this one?
I think you can change the color under effects.
Yeah, let's see if we can do...
And maybe the multiply effect would apply a little bit more, bright as you want.
Yeah, let's see if we can do effects.
There we go.
It's a little dark for what I'm looking for. So let's change it to screen first. Let's go screen. Let's make sure this is underneath. Because it's still, that's a really good splat. Control, zoom in, okay. Effect.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm gonna find one that's like really okay.
That one's cool.
That's cool. That one's cool.
That's giving me Halloween.
Yes, it's definitely giving me Halloween vibes too. I agree. Let's go with splats, because the splats, like this one, I feel like if I put it, I'm not sure if I like the edges on that one, to be honest.
Or maybe when you change the color, it's not gonna be so in your face.
I think what the real kicker is for it to like look good is if it is like we have a blend mode on it, so it like gets that paper texture into it. This one might oh, okay, that looks like it's on there. I don't want it to look like blood though. I want it to be a little nicer than that. A little dark. Let's do a custom. Let's do
Ooh, that's interesting.
a little green.
It should be all shades of green.
We could do.
Is that what you're thinking?
I'm trying to think of like something that's a little more orange or purple too. Could be a cool one. But I think they're too black.
Yeah, I think because you're using multiply, right? Yeah, that might be why.
That's okay. I want to tone it down a little bit, but it'll, we can work with this. Now we're getting somewhere.
Cool. Oh.
I'm getting a little on the pink side. I want purple.
I really love the transparency.
Oh, that's like a yellow, like a yellowish orange kind of. Okay, there's a good splat.
Pastel.
Yeah. Can I move zoom out? Okay.
Very cool.
I do like the yellow. This one still.
I like the color, but
Yeah. I just wish it was more splatty.
yeah.
Doesn't look bad, but let's see if we can find a couple
So
more.
many splatters to choose from.
Yeah, I know. There's like a lot of them.
Yeah, that's one of the things that is like really good to do in, Express. Search for these assets and then apply already. Just apply straight to your design.
And just experiment too. Like there are so many, and sometimes you can get a little overwhelmed maybe with like that many choices available to you.
That's true.
But I think that like, you can still find some cool stuff. Let's do some of the.
That one
I
merges
like
really
that
well.
one. Yeah, that one is really. Honestly, I might have liked that one better than these two. But I don't know.
I think they all work.
Definitely want
the blue
4
works
different
too.
colors though, if we can
Okay.
manage it so that it's like boom, 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 boom.
I think the blue that you put really works.
That one?
Yeah, it communicates really well with the green.
Yeah.
It's bright, it's light, but it has some color to it.
I would agree. Let's try a different. Oh, I like that with all the different colors. The thing about this one though is it has a lot more variation in it, and
Yeah. That's when I get sucked into experimenting forever.
yeah,
And I don't even see time passing by.
I'm gonna remove that one, and then we're gonna find a different one, because otherwise I will do exactly that, where I'm like,
Yeah, it's okay. We have about some 20 minutes left.
okay. Paint splatter. We could find one. Maybe that one. Paint splat only. Just one splat, not splatter.
Splat.
Let's do.
What's this texture though? Is it marker?
I think it's like. I mean, some of them look like markers. So,
The ones that you're already using? What do you think they are?
I think it's paint, like watercolor paint on that's been cut out of like a good photo of canvas. I think is
So
probably what it
watercolor.
is. Yeah. I really like this, and I almost want to put this right here and make it that tan. I saw that and I was like, you know what? I want that in here, and I don't know if it's gonna work, but let's do
Let's see.
custom real quick. Please.
Oh,
Just, you know, just a little something.
that one blends really well.
I think that looks really good. And
Yeah.
we could do another one. Like, we could duplicate it if we wanted to and rotate it around. I realize that I'm going off on a tangent with this, but I just thought it was cool. So I don't want to.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have so many cool assets to choose from. And that's why it's a great, software to just experiment with. There is a free version if you're just, starting, so you can experience some of the power that Express has.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, I like
guys.
this idea.
So
I
it's
see
just
what you
like,
did.
kind of like a little
Now
brackety
that looks
area.
like a tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
okay.
agree.
Okay. Are we gonna do some animation?
We are going to do some animation. What is our time frame?
So I'm
at?
excited about
Okay,
that part.
we do have a little bit because then I'm gonna take the little splats and they're gonna move from one to
okay.
another, or maybe I feel like the paint splats should move rather than just the illustrations. But the illustrations could rotate and stuff while the paint splats change color and stuff. So we'll see. Let's get one more. Now I regret deleting that other one. I should just be satisfied with what I found. So we'll pull it back in. I think we had written watercolor blob. I think you said
Blob.
right.
I did say blob.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good one.
It is a blob.
Where are you? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Are you trying to substitute this one for a new one?
Yeah. Well, not substitute, but just grab another one and just put another one.
Okay.
I wonder if we should try that one.
Seems promising.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to stop being so picky.
Sometimes you never know until you apply it.
Screen. Effects. Okay, so we have green, blue, yellow. I think we need a deeper orange, but we have orange. I think maybe a soft purple would probably be best.
I think this is pretty.
That one has almost the background kind of through it. I feel like that one's fine.
I love the purple.
Yeah, let's do that one. Okay.
Yes.
So we have little, spooky things. Now let's see what we can do with the animation.
Little spooky things.
Little spooky things. I think that I want to, first of all, select. I'm holding shift to select all of these things. I think I want to group everything here, and I think I want to animate
all at once.
all of the little guys, So if they pop in, so it'll be like boop, 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 boop. Oh my god, that was perfect actually. That animated everything.
I did not expect that to be so cool.
Okay.
Wait,
I
let's do it
expected
again.
it only to do the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so great. I love it.
Okay. She's happy. We're gonna do that because I think that looked really, really good. And I feel like I wonder if we could do individual animations. So let's do. So it has a pop in, and let's do the looping animation.
Under
Could
loop.
be some kind of a wiggle.
I think wiggle, bob, something that looks like it's floating there because they're kind of ghostly.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That and wiggle is a little more rigid,
Yes.
which I don't know, unless if we go to wiggle and then can we make it softer? No, not really. Let's do bob. I think your intuition is correct for bob.
It just reminds me of ghostly things because, that's kind of what ghosts do. They kind of float over there.
Hovering.
Yeah.
Let's make them all bob. And then I don't
That
want
was
to
very
animate them
cute.
out. I think I want them to come in and stay in. They're invited indefinitely.
Let's see.
Let's go ahead and come down. Okay, that's cute. That's pretty cute.
That is pretty cool.
I wanted like more like a variation and change, but I'm happy with even the paint spots like popping in and then just the bounce. So that could be our invitation flyer for the, let's call this, I want to, because it was called like Graveyard Smash.
Yeah.
You
put the information of our
I
event.
wonder what I should say. I could just put the lyrics to Monster Mash. I could. It was a mash.
Monster Mash.
I think
That's so cool.
I think that would be fine, especially considering what day it is. I don't need copy. I just need the lyrics to Monster Mash, guys.
You get the vibe. You know what it's for. And if this is actually animated, you know, you could have a text that says that first, and then different information could pop in later.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
something that we can do, right, in Express?
Yeah, we could do, honestly, we could do like this. So we could say,
Since it is technically a video.
yeah, we could say welcome or something, or what's a good word for there? Like you're invited. We could do like you're invited, and then have like the next version of it, like pop up. I put spooks there because I liked it, and to be honest, I like that bold word right
The
there.
one word. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a lot of power.
Maybe it should stay there. We're gonna stay there. We're gonna keep it there because I like that. So we have this. Let's go to edit timeline. If I wanted to, I could say like, okay, I like this. We could make that a little. Oh, we're gonna leave it 5 seconds. Let's go to duplicate. Boom, it's here. So there's another version of it.
It's like a different scene.
Don't want it to all come back in though, because it would be better if everything stayed the same and then it just looked like the only thing that was animated was the text, right? So then we just have to come over here to the animate all and make sure that everything no longer, let's do none for animate in. And we can keep these little guys.
So you're kind of adding the animation just to them and not to the text. Because the text is gonna need to do something different.
So if I want to go here, so that should do like the transition, like not everything's gonna, it did.
Is it because you have an in?
It might be because I have in, I was trying to get rid of the in. I want none, but that might be, none there, none there. What is in? Oh, it might be all of these guys. It might be this. Might be not that.
It could be.
Oh no, that's just effects. Why? Maybe because animate all is.
If you go to animate all, could you see if it's applied?
Let's see.
It does
No.
have popping selected.
Remove all. We could do remove all. Hopefully it's just for this scene.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I think each scene is like a separate page.
Okay. Perfect.
of
Then
sorts.
with remove all taken on, then we're going to come over here to this group, my group, and I'm going to make sure I select them. Because I selected them sort of separate last time, and I did animate all, and it animated everything, and I just want these specific 4 things. So we're going to do, just add the loop thing for Bob, so that they stay. So now, I should be able to do this, and then there should be no major transition. It was a little bitty bounce, but that's fine.
That was very imperceptible. That's really cool that we can do that.
And then we can change this. What is this one gonna say? There's. I could just put the rest of Monster Mash, but I won't do that. Just to, to show. We could say event Time.
Place.
Yeah. Location.
Costumes encouraged. Something like that.
Yeah. That's a great location. Costumes.
Yeah, people in the chat are really happy. They're saying it's looking really cute.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah?
so too. I did not expect to look like this. It's not extremely traditional Halloween, you know? It's almost a new take on something that's
grungy.
yeah, it's grungy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. And it's so cool. It's the textures.
I think I want.
You gotta love textures.
Everything looks like it was like kind of spray painted vaguely, and I like that. You know, like distressed. It looks distressed.
Distressed, yes. It just makes it look real, if that makes sense. Perhaps with the resemblance with something that's, you know, physical, tactile. I don't know. It just calls to me. I love it.
I want to say like monsters welcome, costumes required.
Required.
Yeah. You have to show up in costume, but if you're already a monster, you'll be fine.
I'm already a monster, so that's
Yeah.
why I didn't have a costume today.
If you're already a creature,
I'm definitely a creature.
you know what? I think I am too. Okay. That's cool.
All right. So what is the text gonna do? We have some like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we could definitely do something. So we could do. It needs something. It needs a little something there to be a little. It should. The text should animate out, so there's an obvious like change. I think that it should. Only because it's abrupt, like the change is really abrupt, and I
Yeah.
think a different style we could do that, but I don't think that that's gonna work for this particular vibe.
So what's something kind of quick that we can do?
Let's do the animate out. We're just going to have it like kind of pop out. Maybe is pop one of them that we can do? I wonder. We can. Yep.
I think.
Pop out. Strong. Okay. And then we're gonna have the new pop in. That could, maybe not the whole thing though. I don't want the. Okay. I needed to make sure I selected just the small text. Okay. And pop. Okay. Let's see. We could have done a lot, like more of them maybe, but oops. I feel like that didn't. I feel like this ended up being pretty cool, Yeah,
it's definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. Just like a little tiny indication of the fact that something had changed. And there's a couple of things that we could do. I think we've got like 4 minutes still, so we could probably do.
You can definitely play with the bigger text if you want, because I think it's not moving in the second scene. Is that so?
That's a good. Yeah. Let's see. Is it moving at all? It like animates, but it doesn't move overall. I almost wonder if it would be a little too much if the bold text was moving with the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure if that would be, because then it's like the text animates in and out, but it stays where you can read it. So like I kind of like it, but maybe we can. I do also, before we have to take off though, I would like to drop these guys down. In fact, I want to get our text, and I'm just going to put our text in here. And I really wanted to drop these guys.
Oh my god, that looks so
Down
good.
here.
I cannot believe it. I just love this style.
So we can do, let's just grab a background color.
I think it's the rock and roll vibe.
Yeah, it is kind of a rock and roll vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it matches, Halloween perfectly.
I don't know how we can get like a.
Ooh, that
something
was
like
cool.
that.
The
Where
earthy
is-
tones are great.
I want to get our background. I miss our background. Where is it?
Just go to the layer. Yeah. If you have too
trying to
much
do it
to
quick.
select.
I'll try and do it quick. I just want to, boom, put this in here, just a little bit. That's fine. And
That's so
then
cool.
we're gonna animate. Oh, this one was kind of animated, like it all like. I love that so much. That's actually
so
legit cool.
It is.
So we have a couple of these done, and I don't think I mind the spooks overlapping a little bit. Maybe if
No.
we put it up and put it behind, because the pumpkins can overlap spooks just fine. Why not?
Yeah, you can still tell what letter that is, and there's a good contrast between those. So that's probably why it works. For the black one, yeah, you need a little bit of separation.
Do a little, little something right there. And if we wanted to, we could let's grab one of our little splats. And put it in the back.
Oh,
Boom.
I love how that color
Just a
interacted.
little, like there, just to bring out the
Kinda
text there.
Ghostly plasma color.
Yeah, and then I think honestly, yeah, why not? I feel like that. I would love to have finished like our little. I'm trying to figure out which side as far as the overlay, but I would love to have finished
Wait,
all
this
of
side.
them like our little baby pumpkin a little more. But I think that you can get the idea though
Yeah.
of like what it would do. So this is cool. There's one
Pretty
of
cool.
them.
If you ever want to throw a Halloween party, I think you already have the assets
All
for
of
it.
the motif done.
Yeah, it's already saved in your, Express.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good. I mean, if I get started on these ones too, then I will be here all evening, kind of racking them up and putting them in. But I feel like you really helped me with this too, though, because your feedback, especially when we're working on this one, I would still be working with the text and looking for paint splats. If you weren't
I
just
would
like, you
too
know what,
if I were
That was
alone
good." Yeah.
and not looking at the clock.
If you have no friends with you and you're looking for assets, you'll get stuck in asset purgatory.
Absolutely, or color. Yeah, but I think this was a great session. We create not just one but two options. I really love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Have a great Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.